560 QAM. Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560 toll free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Johnny Dykes and
Oh, they'll be coming down Fifth Avenue upon St. Patty's Day. A great day for the Irish all across the USA. But begorra, what is this I hear? This crying ballyhoo. There's a bunch of queers again this year who say that Irish too. Oh, God loves the Irish, unless of course you're gay. If you are, you won't be marching upon St. Patty's Day. You can be a bum, a bucket of scum, sure, and that's okay, but you can't be Irish if you're gay. Now the order of Hibernians, those eminences grey, have delivered this pronouncement upon the blessed day. Sure, a little bit of heaven fell and nestled in the sea. But you're going straight to hell for homosexuality. Oh, God loves the Irish, unless of course you're gay. That was their pronouncement as the pipes begin to play. You can be a con, a mafia don, God loves you anyway, but you can't be Irish if you're gay. O-L-E-S-B-I-A, N and S spells lesbian. Choosing other women part a mate with, devil a man can never get a date with. L-E-S-B-I-A, N and S we say. It's a shame that these dames want to come out and march with us lesbians. No way. But just ask Cardinal O'Connor. He sure to set you straight. It's wiles like the Kennedys that made this country great. We don't allow no Peter Pan, the wedding of the green. And when we say up the Irish, boys, that isn't what we mean. Oh, God loves the Irish as long as men are men. Except perhaps the leprechauns, we've never been sure of their stinking, drunk, and hurling chunks will laugh it all away. But you can't be Irish if you're gay.
No.
No, you can't be Irish if you're gay.
No.
Don't even try being Irish if you're gay.
10:02 at 560 WQAM. Boy, we got some good news today.
Oh!
Yeah. First good news is we got Marlins baseball at 12:50 this afternoon. Yeah, preseason baseball. Man, you could put the audience for that in a thimble and have room for the Chinese army left over. You could stick it in your rectum and have a lot of room left over. Marlins and the Kansas City Royals biggie, exhibition baseball, 12:50 this afternoon. Are we complaining about it?
No.
No. I'm ecstatic about it. And as if that isn't good enough, guess what tomorrow is? Besides being Tuesday, March 7th. It's the end of the quiet period.
It's the end of the quiet period.
All right. Yeah. You know what I think we're going to need to bring in here tomorrow, George? A couple of shovels. Because if you're going to bury somebody, you need to bring in a shovel. Huh? Isn't that the way it usually works?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's bring in our shovels tomorrow, baby. It's the end of the quiet period. You know that thing we can't talk about? Yeah, that thing. Well, starting tomorrow, we'll be able to talk about it. Anyway, our poll question on Friday, do you enjoy the Neil Rogers Show with calls, without calls, or you don't give a crap? With calls, 300. We had 633 votes, by the way. Pretty heavy duty. With calls, 340. That's 53.7%. Without calls, 190. That's 30%. And people who said basically they don't care, 103, 16.2%. 633. So I guess we'll keep taking calls if the phone ever works. And speaking of the phone ever works, oh, have I got a great story for you. If I got a great Greg Reed story for you. Let me start out before I even think about getting into that with a term for you to keep in mind. Pathological liars. Okay? Next time somebody mentions Beasley Broadcasting or Wanna Beasley or anything connected with it, just make sure that expression comes to mind. Pathological liars. In other words, people who lie so much, it's like a way of life. They tell so many stories, they don't even know the difference between fantasy and reality anymore. It becomes a part of their whole existence, is lying. It's a way of doing business. It's a way of being alive. Pathological liars, these people. By the way, our poll question today, tying right in. I want to be timely with these poll questions every day. Do you listen to Marlins baseball on QAM? Yes or no? Very simple. Yes or no? Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe we'll find out that most of our people out there listen to Marlin baseball. What do you think?
No.
That's going to be our poll question on our NeilRogers.com today. Do you listen to Marlins baseball? What do you say?
No.
No, seriously, I bet you there are a lot of people out there. You'll be shocked who love Marlins baseball. And speaking of that, by the way, you know Dave Hyde?
He's an asshole.
At the Sun Sentinel. I thought that Bifo might be the only one on this deal. I thought he'd be the only one foolish enough to jump in on the bandwagon. But it only took one day. Saturday, John Henry comes up with that brilliant announcement, that formal announcement about his big tax on Mickey Harrison.
I must be crazy. I must be
and
nuts.
the cruise ships. And here's Sunday, one day, that's all it took. He's got Dave Hyde one over on his side, which I have Dave Hyde's obnoxious, unctuous column from yesterday's Sun Sentinel. Henry transfers the role of the villain, which I'll get into that in a little while. Dave Hyde. You know Dave Hyde?
He's an asshole.
What a jerk. See, these sports nerds, I know that some of them, including Dave Hyde, must have been waiting, searching for an excuse that would make it acceptable for them to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, yeah, we'll build you a stadium, and this is really delicious, to quote his term, because now we're going to screw Mickey Harrison, that we hate even worse than John Henry, and get the money out of him, since he doesn't pay any taxes. The only problem with that, Dave Hyde, is if we're going to squeeze money out of him, which is fine with me, how about using it for something sensible, something worthwhile, besides another half-empty, two-thirds empty, 80% empty sports venue, since we can't even come close to filling up the ones we already got? Oh, what a concept. I mean, it's really interesting. He says it's revealing that Harrison, who dumped a perfectly salvageable Miami arena on taxpayers and got $60 million in state money for the new arena, would be fighting this. And by the way, the taxpayers of Miami still owe $40 million on that old arena he's talking about, the old Miami arena. Maybe we could use some of that tax money we would squeeze to pay that thing off, and also maybe to buy some textbooks for some kids in Dade County who go home without textbooks every day. What do you think about that, Dave Hyde, you jackass? So maybe Bifo and Dave Hyde are the same person. Ever see them together?
No.
Let's think about it. Here's a call from Waimama. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
I got bad news for you.
Yeah?
Your favorite woman Canadian died. Did you hear about it?
Sandra Schmerler, the great Canadian
curler. Canadian curler.
That's last Thursday's news, sir.
It is. Well, it was in the Waimama Picayune yesterday.
Well, a little slow. 36 years old. She's dead from cancer.
That's bad, isn't
poor
it?
Sandra Schmerler, the great Canadian curler.
Oh, I didn't know. It was just in the paper here yesterday.
You won't be sliding those stones down the old paint out sheet ice anymore.
I can hear you. I'm outside. I'm standing on one leg with my radio pointed toward Miami.
There you go. That's the way to do it, pal.
It's the only way I
Keep
can hear
that leg way up in the air.
It's up there.
Okay.
I'm letting loose.
Thanks for the bad news.
See you.
Okay, I'm glad he reminded me of that. Forgot to mention that last Friday. Sandra Schmerler, the champion women's Canadian curler, dead at 36 of cancer. God, there's a lot of people dying, you know? A lot of that going around. I have a great editorial, by the way, from the St. Catharines Standard newspaper about the barbaric America's infatuation with a handgun. It's great, which I'll read eventually. Of course, we got that ball game coming up at 12:50, the Marlins and the Kansas City Royals. Any interest?
No.
Come on, get on that NeilRogers.com. Let's see exactly how much interest there is in these Marlins radio broadcasts. I mean, maybe it'll turn out that I'm the one who's crazy, okay? Maybe everybody and their brothers listen to those goddamn games.
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Yeah. Maybe Hank and I ought to be kissing the ground that we have those exhibition games especially to goose those numbers up for us. Could be. Oh, wait till I get to this Greg Reed story. Greg Reed and Norma Kent. When I get to this, you better strap yourselves in tight this morning, boys and girls. Get the men in the with the rubber coats, the men with the white coats, the butterfly nets, because we got a guy running this place who's crazier than a bedbug.
Yes.
I mean, this man is certifiable. He must be doing some wild, wild drugs. That's all I can say. Magic mushrooms, herb, whatever he's doing. We all want a little piece of the action. Because this man is certifiable.
Yes.
Make no mistake about it.
Yes.
Oh. 9 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM.
No portion of this broadcast may be reproduced without the express written permission of WQAM Beasley Reed Acquisition Corp.
Ooh, frosty nads.
Tonight on HBO, the true story of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. Marriage, sex, children, jail. See the story everyone is talking about. Pam and Tommy, with an all-star cast. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen give an outstanding performance as Pamela's boobs, and Iggy Pop shines as Tommy's Am and Tommy, the story behind the story, tonight on HBO.
You call that a penis?
10:13 at 560 WQAM. Happy Monday to you. Here's a great fact from Bill in Fort Myers. Woman's pistol plot goes awry. Bogota, Colombia. Surgeons operated on a woman. This is one of the all-time best. Thanks a lot, Bill. Surgeons operated on a woman who smuggled an automatic pistol into a high-security prison by concealing it in her rectum, but was unable to remove the gun from its hiding place. Even Tessio never thought of anything that clever. Don't you remember he had that gun? He told Clemenza. Teresa Ruiz slipped the 7.65 millimeter pistol past security checks at Bogota's. Was that Teresa Ruiz? What the hell was her name? The one that used to be on WS News. They used to say, well, it'll come to me. At any rate, she slipped a 7.65 millimeter pistol past security checks at Bogota's La Picota prison on a visit last week to a suspected leftist rebel prisoner, local newspapers reported Saturday. But once inside the prison, she realized the gun was stuck. Rectum. That's right. Oh, that's Conchita. Conchita Ruiz. Don't you remember Conchita Ruiz?
No.
Okay. Claiming she was pregnant, Ruiz, 43, complained of acute stomach pains, was taken to a hospital. She stayed there for 3 days, the gun firmly lodged inside her. Surgeons finally removed the pistol Wednesday after Ruiz confessed the real cause of her discomfort. On Saturday, she was recovering in the hospital under police guard. She was charged with illegal weapons possession in her rectum. Prison guards say visitors have often used body cavities to smuggle drugs and liquor to inmates since a court ruling last year banned intimate body searches. They can't stick their nose in there or anything else. Well, so there you go. Not a good place to hide your gun in your rectum. For all you kids out there. A little lesson in life. Here's a call in Jupiter. Hello.
Hey, Neil. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Buenos dias.
Thank you. On a serious note, I just want to extend a formal and sincere congratulations to you on your anniversary. Anybody else probably would have blown their brains out by now.
Uh-huh. Oh, wait till you hear this story that I'm going to tell you in a minute. The Greg Reed story about his his magnanimous offer to me. But anyway, we'll get into it. You won't believe it.
Well, I hope it's a good deal. It's a bad day in radio when you're gone. Seriously, I just want to thank you for the years of entertainment.
Okay.
With that in mind, you being a real commissioner of common sense, I got a little heated discussion during dinner with our neighbors. Knowing that whatever you say is gospel, they were feeding my dog crackers. And I've heard you get on your mom about feeding the dog crackers. And I'm serious when I ask you, what is the risk or what is the danger in feeding canine crackers?
Well, it's not good for them. It's not going to kill them, but it may make them sicker than hell. Bad.
Yeah, because that was my only argument that I had heard it from you.
Tell them cut the crap and get a new phone, sir. Get a new phone. Bad start with that phone. I sure hope our phone is working today because. See, when it starts with a real loud sound like that, I'm not really sure on 4. Not positive. Anyway, well, let me take the other call. There's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm calling from Fort Lauderdale. I'm a big fan of yours. Listening to you from Freeport in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I'm just calling about your poll. No, I don't listen to the Marlins game.
Well, we're not doing a poll on the air, sir. Don't you have a computer?
Yes, I do have a computer.
But you have to get on the internet. You have to go to neilrogers.com and click it on there. Make sure you do it.
Oh, no, that's not the problem. I can do that also.
Make sure you click.
No.
So you will not be listening to the Marlins?
Oh, no, I don't listen to it, no, unfortunately.
Why not? Like that guy that was trying to sell me crack on the streets of Amsterdam. I said, I'm not interested. Why not?
Well, it's just not really interesting. It's just not a big thing. I'd rather watch the Dolphins game, if anything, but the Marlins... I'd rather
watch Dan Marino play at the age of 65 in Minneapolis, right?
Hey, Dan Marino, not a problem. If he wants to play, let him keep on playing.
If he wants to play with it, let him play with it.
Hey, why not?
Okay.
That's his to do.
God bless you, sir. So anyway, there's this meeting on Friday between my attorney, Norma Kent, and Greg Reed, our general manager, of course, at WQAM, whose middle name is Pathological BS Artist. And when I got my call in Toronto at my hotel over the weekend from Norma Kent, it's a good thing I was strapped in tight to the chair I was sitting in. I was strapped in real tight. I have never in my life, these people are in just terminal denial. See, this is the reason I talk about it every day, not because it's fun, but because at least it's out there on the record, It's a way of blowing off steam, number one, and keeping my sanity, number two, and number three, putting it right out on the record. We've got 80 billion ear witnesses out there all over the world. They know it's true. 2.5 years almost we've been on the air in this place, and they still won't, they adamantly refuse to provide us with a goddamn telephone that works. This would be like if your maid comes to your house every week and you have a broken vacuum cleaner. Do you know what I'm saying? And every time she leaves, you pick up the phone and call her and say, "What's the matter with you, you crazy bitch? How come my carpets are still dirty? What kind of a slob are you?" And a vacuum cleaner, not only doesn't it work, but even the cord is like sliced off. You can't even plug the goddamn thing in the wall. That's what a joke it is. And that's the same thing here. Can you plug it in the wall?
No.
That's what a joke it is. You hear this crap day. Friday, we went through another spastic episode on the phone again. So anyway, here's the great proposal. I want you to listen to this. This is really something. This is the kind of denial that Greg Reed and the Wanna Beasleys are in about the status of this show and this radio station. Now, theoretically, I have about 2.5 years left on the current contract, which they can wipe their rectum, as far as I'm concerned with. So Greg Reed says, because you've been reading in your newspapers these rumblings about, well, Neil may do his show part-time from Toronto, from Amsterdam, from Uranus, from the moon, from out of town. So here's the great thing they're going to do for me. Well, what they're going to do for me is nothing. Nothing. But if I'll do something for them, then maybe they'll do something for me. If I'll agree to a 1-year extension on my contract because they love me, says Greg Reed. They want me here forever. See, we have a love-hate relationship. They love me, I hate them. That's the true definition. No, seriously, this is the truest definition of a love-hate relationship you'll ever find. They love me, and I do know why, because I'm bringing in a lot of money, and I got the ratings, that keep enable. I'm the enabler. I enable him to play sports guru, to walk around, "Oh, I got the Dolphins, I got the Marlins and the Panthers, I'm a sports big shot. Look at me, and my wife's got a lot of money." I'm the enabler. So they love me, and I hate them like poison, because they're compulsive, pathological liars. Haven't asked them for a lot. You want me to do a talk show? Give me a phone system that works, and leave me alone. And maybe some promotion, too, but, that's not going to happen. Is that going to happen, John Jarris, by the way? Haven't seen him in a long time, since the day that they came up here and put the pancake makeup on everybody. How many weeks ago was that? This big TV campaign. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
Squirt.
Yeah. Even Peter North never used the line that much. Is this? It's coming. It's always, right around the corner. The check is in the mail. That's the name of the game here at QAM. The check is in the mail. The phone system is in the mail. This is in the mail. So anyway, here's the proposal. Just like in The Godfather, the word on the street is the offer is so good we won't be able to say it's an offer we can't refuse. If I'll sign a 1-year extension of my contract, are you ready for this? Then they'll set up a studio for me in Toronto where I can broadcast 3 months out of the year. And, of course, they'll duplicate all the equipment that we have in here, but the studio, of course, will have to be either in a house that I'm going to buy or an apartment or a condo that I'm going to rent or buy or something like that. Are they going to buy it?
No.
No. Okay, now it gets even better than that. If I'll sign a 2-year extension of my contract, I got 3 months a year in Toronto and 3 months in Amsterdam. So now I got to buy a house or an apartment in Amsterdam, buy or rent, buy an apartment or house in Toronto. And, of course, since I'll be here 6 to 9 months, depending on which year we're talking about down here, I'll also have to continue keeping my house down here. Now I got 3 houses: Toronto, Amsterdam, Miami. This is the kind of delusionary fool that I work for, who says, by the way, now the new phone system was shipped out on Friday, meaning 3 days ago. And the people in the audience are wondering, is this the same phone system that they told you we shipped out 2 weeks ago Friday?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Is this the same system that our program director again repeated to me this morning is coming in piecemeal, and some of the software is here and some of it isn't, and some is in Peoria and yada? Is that the same one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Is this the one that was supposed to be promised in blood on February the 14th, was supposed to be here?
Uh-huh.
And guaranteed on March 1st? See, this is another thing. The only time we've ever been able to get these people off the dime is threaten to sue them. Now, that's a wonderful relationship to have with the people you work for. Threaten to sue them, threaten to take them to court, and then maybe they'll at least pretend they're going to do something. A phone system that works. That's all. A phone system that works. If it's a Bell South problem, say goodbye to Bell South. Sue them for $100 million. Do something, but solve the problem someday. But everything here, at least they're consistent. Nothing ever gets done. It's like the construction project out here on the 3rd floor. Is it done?
No.
Are they working on it right now?
No.
Have we seen, when's the last time we saw any workers other than the glue that was coming through the vents that they were getting physically ill and nauseous in here when they were putting the wallpaper on it? Have we seen any stuff going on here in weeks now? Have you?
No.
No.
Well, that's work. The glue, the wallpaper guys.
We haven't seen them doing anything in weeks.
You think that there should be like several crews at the same time?
No,
working?
I think there should be like one guy, one beaten up old drunk with a bucket.
That's what they got.
No, I think what they said is something that rhymes with bucket. We can't afford it, so bucket. Tomorrow is the end of the quiet period. Let me say it again. I can't wait. In fact, you know something? I wish I could close my eyes, go and turn the clock ahead till tomorrow. Even though we don't have a ball game tomorrow, we have a full 4-hour show tomorrow. Yeah. Can't wait. And of course, some of the people in the building are already probably grinding their teeth. Oh, gee, he's gonna cost us a lot of money. He's gonna screw things. You know something? If you're that stupid, you deserve what you get. If you're that dumb, you deserve to lose your ass. That's my comment on that. Did George buy any of that stuff we can't talk about?
No.
Did I?
No.
Did Robert?
No.
And who was the other one? And Mark Eisenberg. Did he buy any of that?
No.
That we can't talk about till tomorrow? Because it's the
last day of the quiet period today.
So are you ready for this? And his comment to my lawyer is the phone system was shipped Friday. It's a done deal. It's as good as done. This is the same phone system that was supposed to be here on February 14th and on the 1st of March, and now it's the 6th of March. And it just drags on and on. And here we are 2.5 years later, and I'm going to sign a new contract with these people?
No.
I'm going to extend my contract?
No.
You know what this is like? I told George this morning. This would be like if you had a 10-year prison sentence. And you're in prison doing hard time, so to speak. And the warden comes to you a week before your prison sentence is set to expire and says, I realize you're supposed to get out of this rat-infested toilet in a week, but because of the fact that you've been such a good guy and we've taken such a shine to you and some of the inmates like you so much, we decided to give you an opportunity. If you'll sign this piece of paper, you can stay in here another 5 years. Well, let me respond right here on the air to Greg Reed's magnanimous offer. The answer clearly is
No.
No. There are two chances, much less than none, and whatever is under much, I guess it's much, much less than none.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Those are the two chances. For any amount of money, for any number of opportunities to broadcast from the moon, from Las Vegas, from Toronto, Amsterdam, Rome, the Rome Hilton, from anywhere in the universe, at any amount of money, the answer is very clearly no. See, if I were him, I'd be worried about that last 2.5 years that we still have on a current contract, which the chances are decreasing every moment that goes by that we don't have a phone system that works, decreasing dramatically of us ever reaching that point. And yet this man continues walking around, scratching that big hole in his head, making that sound. 26 after 10 at 560 WQAM.
Oh, my God, your breasts are beautiful.
The way I move around when I go to, I cause a mambo movement number 2. On the toilet seat I swing and sway, to the mambo beat, the radio play. Slowing down a load and I'm all through. There's just one thing I got to do. A little bit of paper's all I need, so I can make my high knee nice and clean. have to push, I'm in control. When I move inside to side on the toilet bowl, I never have to spray, it comes out whole. It looks a little like the Tootsie Roll. I sway to the left, and sway to the right, from cheek to cheek, and I'll tell you why. Not only are you burning calories, but you never ever get a big red ring. That's why big fat guys who can't use the exercise can have some fun when they do with the mambo movement number 2.
Hey, look at me, Alan. I'm doing the mambo. Hey, well, come on, do it. You look like a whale in heat. Shut up and talk, man. Okay, get out.
See, I guess when you've been faking your way through life as long as some of the people around here have, it just, you think you can do it forever, is what it boils down to. Isn't that right, Greg? Come on, Greg. You can do it. Yeah. So speaking of what we just played there, anybody see Katie Couric on TV this morning? I forgot all about it. Today's show host Katie Couric took a camera crew alongside as she underwent a recent colonoscopy, a screening test for cancer. And, of course, just having had one a few weeks ago myself, I just can't even begin to imagine. I missed the boat. I could have beat her to the punch, so to speak. We could have like a little TV camera because they already have a TV camera that they stick in your rectum. Yeah, way up in there. And they look around. They take a little peek. It's kind of like, what was that movie with Pat Boone? Not Journey to the Center of the Earth. Is that what it was? Yeah, something like that. Or with James Deeren. Whatever the hell one it was. And like he got inside the human body and they were like floating around.
Oh, that was The Incredible Journey or Voyage?
Yeah, something like that. Incredible Journey in your rectum. I think that's what it was called. So here America had a chance to take a look way up Katie Couric's ass is what it all boiled down to. The procedure is being shown today and Tuesday on the NBC Morning Show as part of a week-long series on colon cancer. Couric, 43, was given a mild sedative for the test, discusses what's happening throughout. We're showing it to demonstrate there's no reason people should be scared. Executive producer Jeff Zucker told the Philadelphia Inquirer for Sunday's edition, we try to do it with tremendous sensitivity, he said. We don't show a lot of her colon. We're not going to gross anybody out. I mean, isn't this what America's always waited for? Is to have somebody stick a camera way inside Katie Couric's rectum. Yeah. Can you just imagine the possibilities? And what if they should have found something in there? Oh, look at that. There's a big, grotesque, it looks really malignant to me, a big thing in there. A big, disgusting thing. But, of course, this is already... Now, is this being done live or is this... No, of course not. No. See, that would have been the real thing because this is in the past. It's on tape. Because if it was live, America could discover she got this enormous tumor up inside her colon, and she's like knocked out because you don't know anything. And then when she wakes up, I mean, hey, guess what, Katie? Everybody saw it. You got something in there. You got that goddamn gun in there like that bitch in Bogota. Yeah. Maybe we have somebody in the audience who saw that. Do you think we have anybody who watches the Today Show in this audience?
No.
We'll find out. See, back in the days when Joe Daggiola was hosting the Today Show, wouldn't you have liked to have seen somebody stick a gun or something up his rectum? Yeah, like a foot. And then when Bryant Gumbel was on today, I bet you Katie Couric would have stuck her leg way up his rectum for free. And her fist all the way up to her armpit. Rectum. Way in there. Here's Davey. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
I know that you're a hockey fan. I'm not much of one, but I heard you talking about Worrell. I think you said he was a skillless goon. But he like scored a game-tying goal recently. I was wondering if you saw it.
Whoopie-doo.
Was it a lucky goal?
How many goals has he got this year, sir?
I'm not trying to argue with you. I was
How many has he got? How many has he got?
Was it a lucky goal or did it
How many has he got?
Skill?
How many has he got? 5670560, pound 560. And isn't it interesting? He sounded like a person of color, this guy, didn't he? To me, yeah. So now even that's a racial issue. Scored a goal on Saturday, the one that they got. He still can't play for crap, okay? He still don't belong on that team. He still brings nothing to the table. Have you got it, sir? Do you understand?
No.
No. This guy wouldn't know a goddamn hockey puck from a watermelon seed. That's how sharp he is. Another expert. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. 877-785-6345 on our world-famous out-of-town line. I feel the audience is probably still either convulsing on the floor after my Greg Reed, Norma Kent story, that meeting. I mean, that's just, it's mind-boggling to me. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Oh, yeah, if you'll sign an extension, yeah, extend this, okay? My foot up your rectum. That sounds like a good extension to me. I noticed, by the way, that line 4 doesn't seem to be working right now. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Did you notice that? I could be wrong, but it's got that little, we'll see. I don't want to rush to judgment here. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
Been listening to you most of your 24 years and appreciate your program quite a bit. I'm one of the few hockey fans that are down here. I was a season ticket holder with the Rangers for about 7 years in the, I guess, late 60s and early 70s. You know, the Rod Gilbert.
And we don't want to hear about that, about the past, yes?
Okay, but I wanted to give you a spy report. I noticed on a place I was opening called Rochester Hots in Pompano on McNabb Avenue, just off of Federal Highway.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be able to get some of these Weigels.
We've been able to get them down here at Wayne Arnold's for the last 10, 15 years. He's had them for years.
Yeah, I know. But there's another one. I talked to the guy. He had a phone number outside. He's waiting for a couple of more inspections to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, well, listen, tell him you'd like some freebies when for giving a free plug on here, okay? Rod Gilbert. See, this is the same old crap again. This is the poll that we had here on Friday about you want to hear the calls. We've had 2 calls here in the last couple of seconds. Did either one of them have anything to say?
No.
2 great hockey experts, too, by the way. One that wants to know, was it a lucky goal, and is Peter Worrell as black as everybody says he is? And then this guy who's like wants to tell me about White Hots. It's astonishing. See, what it really boils down to is the audience wants to hear me rip the callers an ass. That's why half of our audience listen to the show. Which is fine. I mean, you listen for whatever reason you listen. We're glad that you listen. If you like the farting sounds, whatever reason, whatever turns you on, if we can help you kill 4 hours of in this town especially, then more power to all of us. That's all I can say. But that's really what it boils down to. So why should I disappoint them? 22 before, and guess who the first person was I saw when I pulled in the parking lot this morning? And I sat in the car until he disappeared. Peter Leonard. Yeah, exactly. My eyes were rolling in my head, too, when I saw him. I thought to myself, I don't want to hear it anymore. Okay, Peter, just go away. Just go away. Leave, don't leave, well, whatever.
Go to WQAM.com for all your cyber needs.
They have the internet on computers now.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
This station stands for nothing.
Hello, Mr. Rocker.
How you doing, Clear Boy?
Excuse me? First up, sir, we will do the Rorschach test.
But they love when you roll your tongue like that, all your boyfriends, huh?
Excuse me?
Go ahead.
The Rorschach test is ink blots, as they say in English. And I will show you these ink blots, and you will tell me the first thing that pops into your mind.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Okay. What do you think this is?
Homo.
And this?
Lesbo.
Okay, and this one?
Infected Haitian.
All right. How about this?
Bobby Valentine riding the baloney pony.
Interesting. Well, let's move along, shall we? Let's try some word association. I'll say a word, and you tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
Idiot.
No, Mr. Rocker, we haven't started yet. Here we go. Dog.
Anus.
Cat.
Microwave.
The color blue.
Queer.
John, why don't we try waiting a moment before you respond?
Jerk.
Mr. Rocker, I only wish to be your friend.
Hey, why you got me on this couch, Doc? You a mo?
What?
You fag boy?
John, I'm a married man.
Sure you are. What's your wife's name, Chuck?
No, actually, it's Gladys.
Yeah, you're Gladys. It ain't out that you're a fag boy. I'm out of here.
Why are you running? Stop running, John. John, are you a wild thing? Do you make my heart sing? Shut up.
Yeah, bring it back, John. Okay, 1043 at 560 WQAM. He still looks pretty good to me. I don't care what they say. Here's Hollywood. Hello. Hollywood.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How's it going? First
okay.
of all. Last week I was listening to your show around Thursday and Friday, and you had this double standard thing going on. And
double standard thing?
Yeah, you were talking about double standards.
Oh, you mean about black and white?
Yeah.
About how black people can do no wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, and a little bit in the job place and how it goes on with that whole affirmative action thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, I got something like that I experienced. I was working at this organization, and we'll just say at the top of the food chain, she was a butch. You know what I mean by that? And it seemed in every significant position, they were all butches. And it seemed like you had to be a lesbian to get anywhere in that place. And I just wanted to let you know that I was a victim.
Victim of what? Because you weren't a lesbian?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thanks for the good news. There's a guy who's not a lesbian.
Oh!
All right, let's hear it. I guess he'll never be on Howard's show. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town line, 877-785-6345. Anybody see Katie Couric's
rectum?
See, this is what this show is all about. That's why they like to call her so much, because it's two shows for the price of one. I sit here and I talk about all of these things, and then they respond.
No.
What I'm talking about?
No.
They got their own agenda. Just like when George was talking about his citrus canker there on Friday when I was driving to the airport. My canker sore started erupting on my lip again just hearing about that. Although he does tell me that much later on in the show, it's kind of like a delayed reaction. We think we're on a 7-second delay. We're on about a 2.5-hour delay. Sometimes it's about a 2 or 3 week delay. Like now, happy anniversary, Neil. Oh, but that was 5 days ago. Yeah, but we're a little slow out here. Happy anniversary. So it is, you have an excellent point. It's like 15 different shows because they have their own agenda. Here's a mobile in Davie. Hello.
Hey, Neil, I saw Katie's rectum this morning.
And?
It looked good.
It looked good, huh?
Yeah.
Like a rectum should?
Yeah. I think the point of what she's doing, I think her husband died of colon cancer.
Yeah, I understand that, but right. I mean, suppose her husband would have had a heart attack. Does that mean we have to go? No, seriously, inside her heart, do we have to have an angioplasty and see the inside of Katie's heart just to make sure she doesn't croak the same way? What does that mean? So let me ask you this: suppose her husband would have died, God forbid, of testicular cancer. Will we be searching for Katie's penis?
Perhaps.
Could be.
I guess she's on cover of Time magazine too. It's called Katie's Big Crusade.
Oh boy.
She's out. She's on the soapbox to fight colon cancer.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, the whole audience.
Listen, I'm all for people going and getting screening. I did it myself. It's a piece of cake, so to speak. It's not a hard thing. You don't feel a damn thing. It's fine. But don't you think we can convey the message without America looking inside of her rectum? Don't you think?
That'll be tomorrow. I guess they're trying to get big numbers for tomorrow's show.
Wait till Britney Spears starts her new cervical cancer screening test. Yeah.
The only thing I can say about the point was they did it very tastefully, and it was pretty interesting. I'm 45 years old, and I never thought about having anybody stick anything up my ass.
Yeah, so it was a tasteful rectum. That's good.
Yeah, it was good looking.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm not going to play Taste Like a Penny. Would that be bad or what? That would be bad. Well, maybe I will. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Out of town line, 877-785-6345. I'm going to read this article from the St. Catharines Standard because it sure beats these calls we're getting so far today, of which we don't have that many to begin with. I mean, stop and think back to that day that we were at Seminole Indian a week ago Saturday. Think back to that day. Take a look at the phone. Take a look at that last rating book, and you understand why I said on Friday and why I'm thinking over the weekend, especially in light of these ridiculous comments, this magnanimous offer that this man is making to my attorney. And sometimes I feel like life is passing me by here at QAM. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we're vanishing from the woodwork. I met a young man on a plane here on Friday going up to Toronto who's a big Leafs fan, big hockey fan, good guy. 19 years old, look about 22 or 3 to me, but nevertheless goes to school down here. Doesn't listen to AM radio. He ever heard of me?
No.
Ever heard of this show?
No.
We're just vanishing into the woodwork on this radio station. Just vanishing from the face of the earth. America's infatuation with a handgun, an editorial first published in the St. Catharines Standard and then reprinted on Saturday in the Toronto Star. It says, what is it going to take for America to get the message? How many more innocent people have to die or be injured by indiscriminate gunfire? The shooting of 6-year-old Kayla Rowland by her 6-year-old classmate in the suburb of Flint, Michigan, is the most wrenching of all the deaths by firearms this year. Her assailant is sure to become the focus of attention by those who call for the restriction of handguns in the U.S., but is it possible to stop the spread of or reduce the millions of pistols in that country? Why could the child fire the gun, U.S. President Bill Clinton asks. If we have the technology today to put on these child safety locks, why don't we do it? His attitude, which reflects the American belief that better technology can solve all their problems, wouldn't apply to a stolen gun in a poor neighborhood. Gun thieves don't care about child-proof locks. It's tempting to explain away the shooting as a result of the drug culture the boy's grown up in and the poverty of his neighborhood. 82.5% of the school children there qualified for free or reduced meals in 1998-99. But that wouldn't explain all the other school shootings where the assailants were older white teens, most with middle-class backgrounds. The most common denominators in the shooting rampage equation are America's love affair with guns and their myth of the gunman who solves his difficulties by resorting to violence. The first makes getting hold of a gun remarkably easy. The second makes using a gun to settle a dispute remarkably tempting. The 6-year-old boy probably had little idea of the harm he could inflict. But how would you explain the gunman who shot 5 people at 2 fast food restaurants in Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania on Wednesday? He knew exactly the cost in human suffering his bullets would cause. Let's be realistic. The U.S. has to somehow rediscover the value of human life. It has to figure out what has made human life so cheap that they can be so easily snuffed out in the very places where they have every right to feel safe and secure, their schools, their restaurants, and their work sites. Americans must also change their thinking about the use of violence to settle grievances. Otherwise, their society will continue to pay such a fearful price for this inexplicable adolescent infatuation with a handgun. What a great, sounds like I wrote it. Especially that line about the U.S. has to somehow rediscover the value of human life. How many times have I said that? You can travel all over the world. I'm talking civilized countries, not like Uganda, but civilized places, and discover that human life really, in some places, still has some value. How do you like that? Not here. Cheap. Cheaper than a gallon of gas. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. There's a mobile in Wilton Manors. Hello.
The Maple Leafs win the cup. Toronto.
Here's Tamarack. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I just wanted to get your insight on why the Panthers aren't making any play at all for Ray Bourque. With him out there as a trade possibility.
Sir, is this a hockey show?
You're a big hockey fan,
Am I talking about hockey this morning? No. No, all of a sudden it's a hockey show. The hockey show was last night with Rimmer and JD, okay? This isn't a hockey show. The Panthers are making a play for Ray Bourque because maybe they figure he's at the end of a great career and he's a doddering. I have no idea because he's already gone from Philadelphia. If you would watch ESPN, he's already, it's going to be announced any minute now. He's signed with the Flyers. It's already a done deal. Why didn't the Panthers get Vladimir Malakov? Because he went to New Jersey, because they didn't make it as good of a deal. I don't know. Ask Brian Murray. Ask the spokesman. This isn't a sports show. It's not a hockey show. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How are you?
Okay, sir.
Well, talking about double standards, here in Miami Beach, the gay community discriminates against heterosexuals.
Oh, great. Glad to hear it. It's about time. Here's a mobile in Key Biscayne. Hello.
Yeah, Neil,
Yes.
wonderful article. I just want to know where was that? Where'd you get the article from?
I just got through telling you where it was from. It was from the St. Catharines newspaper and reprinted in the Toronto
newspaper.
Star. Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah. Okay, here's our last call on a Monday. Mobile in Margate. Hello.
Yes, I just want to say I completely agree with the article there. I mean, if anybody takes a look and looks at the death rate in the U.S., any major city, we have more murders in the U.S. than whole countries do. And I mean, people write that off and say it's because we have more people.
We have
Well,
more
wait a
murders
minute.
in the U.S. than whole countries do.
No, more murders in major U.S. cities than
Mm-hmm.
the entire countries. I mean, look at Washington, D.C. You can have more murders there in a month than they do in Canada in an entire year. There's
Yeah.
something wrong with that picture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
But you know
because-
something? But you know nobody cares. See, that's the problem. Nobody cares. And that's what the article points out, that life is real cheap in the U.S., and they're right about that.
Well, and how do we get people to care? I mean,
Sir, you tell me how to get people to care. I've been trying for 24 years and a couple of days in this town to get people to care about anything. Have I succeeded?
No.
They couldn't give a flying crap. That's the American way. They don't care.
I find it incredible that something as precious as human life, we can't get people to
Well,
up
they
about.
don't care. They do not care. They have nothing to say about it.
That's sad.
Well, that's America. They don't care about education. They don't care about human life. They don't care about children. They talk a good game, but, well, maybe they used to. They don't even do that now. They got nothing to say.
Yeah, I find a 6-year-old, the fact that a 6-year-old goes into his first grade class and shoots a kid, the fact that that's even something that a 6-year-old could could contemplate, I find that disgusting.
Yeah.
And
so should any other civilized person, but don't you understand? America wants to know when's the next Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire? When's that going to be on? And well, you're laughing, but that's what it's all about now. America's their mind is in the gutter. They don't care. They don't have time for anything meaningful. And have a great day. 5670. This is my last call for phone calls. Now we got the Marlin game coming up at 12:50, so it won't take a lot of music to fill that time. And then I got Dave Hyde's column to deal with here, who sells out. And one day, that's all it took for you to sell out, Dave. One day. Nice going, jackass. 5670, and he wants to know if I want to do an extra year or two of this. Would I sign up with this great company? So it's a combination between the fact that we don't have a phone that works most of the time anyway, and even when we do, which today it looks like it's working, we don't get any calls to begin with. And I want to come in for an extra 2 years now, which would make 4.5 more years, and beg for calls every day? No. I've given it my best shot for 24 years trying to wake the masses. They got nothing to say about anything. You pick it. In fact, that's what I was thinking when I was going to the airport. And you were like shocked that you didn't get like an immediate response on the citrus canker thing. And eventually later on you did, but after, how much time?
Wailing and gnashing.
You picked the topic like I've told you before, and if they got anything to say about it,
No.
do they know anything about it?
No.
But now all of a sudden they're all hockey experts, and how come we didn't sign Ray Bork? Because we didn't. Here's a mobile in Key West. Hello.
What the hell?
Mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Yeah, Neil, I know it's terrible about young children getting killed or any life being taken, but how much of it is really, really due to 24-hour newscasting, looking for stories and really pumping it up?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's right. If we would just not have the news on there all the time, we wouldn't have to hear about these terrible things. They could probably kill like a lot of each other. Or maybe that kid just watched too much CNN. You think that could have been it? I think that's probably what it is. 24-hour newscasting, that's our problem. Looking for bad stuff that goes on. We'd all be a lot better off if this kind of stuff could happen and we just didn't have to hear about it. Now, that little girl, would she be any better off?
No.
Or she'd still be dead, but all the rest of us would be a lot better off. And we could put on a big front and say, hey, guess what? It doesn't happen here. This is a civilized place. Does that make a lot of sense to you? All right. I think thanks for solving the problem, sir. Excellent. Let's just sweep it under the carpet and the bodies, too. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, and especially dead Monday morning. Out-of-town line, 877-785-6345.
WQAM, Fort Lauderdale. What I like about school, rap parties last all night. Don't know how we made it here, none of us can read or write. Yeah, when I get out I'll be an engineer, but right now my major is drinking beer, 'cause it's true. That's what I like about school. What I like about school, you learn a lot in class. I just learned my math professor is an infomaniac. Yeah, I'll be here for 4 more years. There's more beer there in the rear. Yes, it's true. That's what I like about school. That's what I like about school. That's what I like about school. Yeah.
11 o'clock at 560 WQAM. Don't go away because we got the Marlins and the Kansas City Royals. 12:50, less than 2 hours from now. Then we'll get this audience turned on when that Marlin exhibition game comes on. That'll do it. How's line 4 coming, by the way? Just want to make sure that thing is working. I think we actually talked to somebody on there. Not that I'm nervous about line 4 or line 7, you understand, or line 8 since we had problems here on Friday. No, all sounds kosher to me. Sounds great. U.S. jails 2 millionth inmate. Let's hear it. Vigils were mounted in more than 30 cities in the U.S. this week to draw attention to the arrival of the country's 2 millionth jail inmate. The United States comprises 5% of the global population, yet it is responsible for 25% of the world's prisoners.
That's the American fucking way.
It has a higher proportion of its citizens in jail than any other country in history, according to the November Coalition, an alliance of civil rights campaigners, justice policy workers, and drug law reformers. The coalition is seeking to draw attention to what campaigners feel is a trend for locking up ever more offenders, most of them nonviolent. Incarceration should be the last resort of a civilized society, not the first, said Michael Gelisak, a former vice chairman of the U.S. Sentencing Commission. Got to get all those drug people in jail, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Go through those ashtrays, get everybody in jail,
Uh-huh.
and of course that makes more room on the streets, more room on the highways, safer for all the rest of us. Maybe that's where all our audience might be now. They're all in jail. What do you say? Yeah, they're all behind bars. All those druggies that used to listen to the Neil Rogers show.
Yeah, man.
They've all been put away.
That doesn't keep them from calling.
They don't know set up the old Hershey Highway.
Wrecked 'em.
No, they're waiting for Jazz McKay to come back for that. He used to be the one talking to all the people on the inside. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello.
You should be president of the United States.
Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello. Mobile in Hollywood. Okay. I'll try one or two more. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Problem is just the social welfare system in the whole country. I mean, as long as you're going to hand out checks and for the more kids.
Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Neil, actually I was changing the subject a little bit, getting back to your question. Do I ever listen to the Marlins on the radio?
That's a poll question on the internet, yeah. It's not a question that, no, it's not we don't discuss the poll questions on the air.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean,
okay.
I could just do screenless and go yes and no and yes and no for which would probably be more interesting than the calls we're getting. That's a good point.
Actually, I'm a little bit more excited right now about the Hurricanes, the Code Big East
guess what? We're not. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wire. This is scary today. This is beyond scary. I thought the Greg Reed meeting with Norma Kent, I thought that was scary. But this to me is unbelievably scary. This is the best, and then the poll result, 53% of our audience wants to hear these phone calls. They want the show is better with the calls. This is what you listen for?
Uh-huh.
This is what you want to hear?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's a bunch of assholes who have nothing to say. That's what you listen to the Neil Rogers Show for? After 24 years on the air? Hallelujah, baby. I've made my mark in the big time. Talking to people going like that 4 hours a day. Making a lot of money for doing it. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Great.
A couple of things I wanted to comment on. A while ago, you mentioned on the show about how the government up in Canada is subsidizing the hockey teams up there.
They're not.
Yeah, they passed a bill.
No, sir, they did not pass the bill. The bill did not pass. The public responded with overwhelming opposition, and they changed their mind.
Okay,
they're not subsidizing anybody.
Well, the comment that I wanted to make is, here in the States, the taxpayers in the United States subsidize professional teams. And the way that they do it is the owners depreciate the value of the player's contract and deduct that from their corporate and or individual taxes. So we've been doing that for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to get some feedback from you on what you thought of John Henry's latest scam in regard to coming up with some money to pay for his stadium.
I've just been talking about that. I've been talking about it. I talked about it on Friday. I talked about it again today.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear
the
this
answer
morning.
is no. The answer is absolutely, positively no. No more money for billionaires to build more stadiums and arenas. No matter where it comes from.
Hello?
Yes?
There was an interesting column in the paper yesterday about it. I believe it was Dave Hyde. He said that
Sir, you're not listening to the show, okay? Have a nice day. Have a nice life. And it wasn't an interesting column. It's an idiotic column, which I have right here in my hand, which I've already been referring to. And let me say it again, for you and Dave Hyde and any other bozos, if they're going to tax the cruises, if they're going to have any more taxes, take that money and put it to something worthwhile. Not more stadiums, not more arenas, not more empty buildings for billionaires. You got it?
No.
I didn't think so. The answer is no, sir. Just say no to John Henry under any circumstances. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
I was holding for Hank.
Yeah, hold this. Here's a mobile. This is just asshole day. We have nothing but assholes on his phone today. Mobile in South Miami. Hello.
That guy sure was.
Yeah.
Listen, it'll be interesting to see who Henry gets to, who's actually in favor.
Well, he's got Dave Hyde, and you can be sure that Depot's already on his bandwagon. He's got his head up his ass.
He'll get a few more people each month. It'll be interesting when it finally comes down to the vote. I find it totally wrong that
you get preempted for exhibition baseball.
Sir,
From a sales standpoint,
sir, wait a minute. I'm sitting here doing a supposedly highly rated show. Have you been listening to these callers?
Horrible.
Okay, so what's the point? What's the big deal about my being on the air? What am I accomplishing here besides I'm earning a living, which I need to do. I need the money. But other than that, what am I accomplishing by doing a show on this radio station?
Take a few years off your life.
That's what I'm accomplishing. I mean, this is pathetic. These calls are a substitute for having something to say, which these people don't have.
Well, I'm sorry about it.
And join the club. Thank you.
Yes.
He's sorry about it, and so am I. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And this man thinks I want another year or two of this. I don't want another minute or two of this, much less another year or two of this. This is a vacuum, this place. Vacuum. Oh, screw you, Neil. Go to... Yeah, maybe I just will. Maybe before the end of the week. Maybe I just will. Get on a plane Friday afternoon. I go up to Toronto, have a great weekend, talking to people that know something about life, about the real world, people with a smile on their face, people who aren't walking around going like that. And I come back here feeling great this morning, all just full of it, just loaded with it. That too. And right off the bat, here we go with a bunch of retards, a bunch of mouth breathers again. Hold on for Hank. And not even good bad material. You know what I'm saying? Weak. How many times have I brought something up about the Panthers, about hockey? Ever get a response?
No.
Begging people, talking about the food in the arena, begging for response. Ever get a response?
No.
And now all of a sudden, after I go on about 40-minute monologue this morning, now I got a bunch of it's called dumb hockey calls. It's like dumb pet tricks on Letterman. We got dumb hockey calls. I haven't got any idea why we have a hockey team in this town. I have no idea. There is absolutely no interest, none. Oh, there are bodies in the stands. It's a social club.
Were you fudge packing? Starting this month on TLC, you marveled at the inside look at ER doctors on Trauma, Life in the ER. Now follow the lives of proctologists in a major hospital. Colon Corner, weeknights at 10 on TLC. It's television worth watching if you like to watch somebody shove their hand up someone's butt.
Rectum. Hey, if it's good enough for Katie Couric, it's good enough for America. I'll tell you that. 11 past 11 at 560 WQAM. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a call in Largo. Hello.
I'm surprised that Channel 6 did the kind of job it did last night in relation to the helicopter crash that killed at least 2 people. First, the Miami Herald comes out with a story that says
was wrong. That was incorrect.
You mean the Herald story was wrong?
Right.
Then the eyewitness, Riveros, was wrong when she said that she saw these 2 helicopters chasing each other.
It's on the front page of both papers today that it was incorrect. They weren't chasing each other. They wasn't flying irresponsibly. It was absolutely incorrect.
How about what the observers, the audio observers said that they heard when they said,
"Sir, let me
watch
say it.
this."
Let me say it again.
Sure.
It was absolutely incorrect, and the pilot of the other helicopter also says it was incorrect. I read both stories. It was not correct.
Oh, okay.
So if you pick up today's newspapers, it's right there on the front page, sir. 567-0560, pound 560. This is the absolute last call, 4 calls in the history of the Neil Rogers Show. The 53% of you who want calls on this show, here's your opportunity. Make one. Because if we don't get some calls now, I'll never give the number out again, and you'll never hear any calls on this show again. You can take that to the bank. This experiment expires in 30 seconds, okay? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877. I mean, this is just astonishing. We have to be off the air. We have to have we have to have numbers like they do on Stupid Talk. We have to be in the fractions by now. Keep in mind, the book is like ancient history. That's October, November, December. It's the 6th of March today. There couldn't possibly be anybody listening to this show now. To have to go through such an unbelievable song and a dance to try to elicit any kind of a response out of 4 million goddamn people out there, allegedly is 20 of whom might be listening. In fact, there's got to be 69 listening. Where do you get that number? Well, I'll tell you where I got that number. Because our first hour on the poll result, Do you listen to Marlins baseball on QAM? We had 60 votes saying
No.
and 9 saying
Yes.
69 votes. 9 listen and 60 do not, which doesn't augur too well for what's going to happen at 12:50. So maybe it's a good thing that we don't have anybody listening this morning. They're just warming up for Marlins baseball. Positive. Absolutely positive. How's line 7 coming, by the way? Sounds like it's working to me. Doesn't it sound like it's working to you? What's that? Hello? What was that?
Got me.
Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Great.
Hey, Neil. I want to commend you on your of your addressing the issue that is going on in the world today, man. And the reason why you don't get no good callers, man, because your intelligence is far surpasses these people calling you, man.
That is correct. Because I'm a freaking genius. And if I'm so smart, what am I doing here?
The problem is, man, that they want to hear you talk racist talk, or they want to hear you talk foolish talk, man.
Yeah.
You know. All right, Neil. Have a nice day.
Okay, back to you. Well, they want me to talk racist talk to you, Schwarzer? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Neil, how you doing today?
Not the best, sir. Not the best.
Well,
I was
sorry to
doing
hear
great
that.
about an hour and a half ago. I was doing sensational.
Well, you always say you don't get any hockey calls. I wanted to talk about hockey. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is the attendance. And personally, I know it bothers.
Well, what is there to talk about?
Well, I know it bothers you or you personally, that people leave early.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't
Okay.
bother me if people leave early. Why would you say that?
Well, I thought I've heard you mention
No,
that.
it bothers me that people don't show up, or that doesn't bother me that they don't leave, stay the whole. They can leave whenever they want.
Well, I have to tell
When
you
you're
that.
paying those kind of prices, you can leave whenever the hell you feel
Well,
like.
that's what I think. But I'm one of the ones that leaves early, and the reason that I leave early is because of the asinine engineers and designers and whoever put up the money of why there's no direct on-ramp when you're leaving to go north.
Yeah, so stay home and watch it on TV. It's
I'd rather go for 50 or 55 minutes of the game than not go at all.
Yeah.
But I know that when I've stayed till the end, the difference between getting home at 11 o'clock at night and 12:15 for 5 minutes of hockey for me ain't worth it.
Right.
So I don't know why they don't have a ramp going to the north, but to go with those idiot policemen who do absolutely nothing at the 3 traffic lights where you have to make left-hand turns, I just don't get it.
Yeah. I'm sure glad I live 3 minutes away, I'll tell you that.
Well,
maybe moving might be the answer.
Maybe that's the best thing, is 3 minutes away. Then it doesn't matter how late you stay.
Exactly.
Well, I hope your day goes better.
Thanks. Did he say Dago? Did he just say Dago?
Uh-huh.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Stewart. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Jeff from Rochester.
Yes.
Yeah, hey, Nick Tahoe's has new hours now.
Yeah.
They close at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
The home of the garbage plate.
And?
And?
Why does anybody care about that, sir?
Well, you're going to be moving back up north, I heard, to Tonto.
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
And if I were moving back up north, why would I care what time Nick Tahoe's closes, sir? Is there anybody on the face of the earth who cares what time they close?
Well,
no. Stop and think about that call. No, seriously, stop and think about that call. Nick Tahoe's with the garbage plate. And this guy, believe me, you can tell from the call, he knows his garbage.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Make no mistake about that. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. It's complaint line. Call in with your complaints. The other guy, he don't like the off-ramp, isn't, the way he wants it. The cops aren't doing the job up there. He can't stay the entire game because he wants to get home before 2 o'clock in the morning, which I don't blame him. See, if they would have built the goddamn thing in the first place with 17,000 or 17.5, something like that, it would be close to filled up a lot of time, or at least it would look a lot better. And we wouldn't have to have all those baby seats in the corners. But you know something? They didn't do that. Because of one word, greed. Because they're going to try to jam as many seats as they can, no matter how narrow, no matter how uncomfortable, because that's what it's all about, is greed. One more reason to just say to John Henry and to tell Dave Hyde that he's dreaming, that he's whistling in the dark. He says, oh, it's for the first time a sports owner not only has a good plan, he's got a worthy corporate villain on the other side. Let me say it again. No matter how much you hate Mickey Arison, the idea of of taxing the cruise ship lines, which is a great idea, by the way, so we can get something out of it, that money's got to go to something worthwhile, not to another billionaire. Don't you understand that, David Hyde?
No.
You jackass. I wonder if Dave Hyde is married and maybe has kids who go to school in this godforsaken place, or anybody else who works in these newspapers. Get a brain, baby. Get a brain. Get sucked in right off the bat. One day he's sucked in. Oh, yeah, this is a great idea. It's a delicious idea because we don't like Mickey anyway. They don't pay no taxes. So let them pay taxes, and let's turn this into a goddamn livable place. We already got a stadium and an arena on every goddamn street corner, Dave Hyde, you jerk. Here's a mobile in Coconut Creek. Hello.
Neil, you got to stay in town. If you leave the airways, there's nobody else on it who has a clue about what the Panthers do.
Yeah, great. What the Panthers... Oh, yeah, that's why I should stay here, because nobody else has a clue what the Panthers do. Yeah, because we got so much hockey interest here. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, you jerk. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Let me change the subject a little bit.
What does that mean?
Let me change the subject.
What is the subject?
Well, the subject is what you were just talking about with Mickey Arison and the arenas.
That's not the subject. The subject is what?
Well, I wake up at 8 o'clock this morning, and what do I hear on ESPN? Dan Marino's going to Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
Now, is that a good idea, or what? I have a prediction. Minnesota.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Are we going to be talking about Dan Marino?
No.
I don't want to hear the name again.
No.
I don't want to hear the name. Even Eddie the Pope said, stick a fork in him, he's done. Even Eddie the Pope, who's got 3 Dan Marino blow-up dolls. Oh, geez, I just said it again. Sorry. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Neil, how are you today?
Okay.
A couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. One about politics of the big Super Tuesday tomorrow, or as they say, or Super Screws Day, as it may end up being. Do you think McCain has a chance?
A chance of what?
Coming in anywhere near Bush.
Coming in near Bush?
Yes.
That depends on whose Bush we're talking about.
What about Georgia?
Does he have a chance to win tomorrow?
Yes.
No. He is going to win some states like in New England. What are you so enthused about John McCain about? What's his claim to fame?
I'm not.
Besides being at the Hanoi Hilton, what's his great claim to fame?
I'm just worried about George Bush being in there because he cares about nothing but Kluge.
No, you should be delighted that George Bush is going to win tomorrow, because Al Gore will wipe the sidewalks up with him in November.
That's true, and Gore doesn't care about the Kluge at all.
About what?
Kluge.
Kluge?
Kluge.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Just when you think you've seen and heard it all, you come back to this. Oh, don't you want another year of this, Neil? How about 2 years?
No.
No thanks. Even with the phone system that worked, the answer is still no. Even if we were doing live from Nick Tahoe's with a garbage plate free every meal, the answer is still no. Go away, Greg. You bother me. Here's a mobile in Miami Lakes. Hello.
Neil God.
Yes, sir?
Neil, I'm calling you. You say you got no calls. I can't get through. The damn phone is dead.
Yeah, well, what can we do for you today, sir?
All right, listen. What in blue blazes? I'm so tired of seeing Oleg Cassini Kabacha do.
Let's go to Miami. Hello.
Neil, don't. That guy started talking Panthers and you knocked him off. I had one thing to say
I'm not talking hockey here today, sir. Let me say it again. It's not a hockey show.
I hear you.
It is not a hockey show. There's no hockey interest here.
Amen.
So what's there to talk about?
Well, I want to take issue with the guy before that was crying about going north out of that place, because it's fine. How spoiled do you got to be to get to a game? If he
wants to leave with 5 minutes to go, I leave many a game lately. I've left after the second period. If the game is lopsided and the verdict is no longer in doubt, what law is there that you have to sit there till the bitter end? Now, I would say that if the game is like tied with a minute to go and somebody leaves, or if it's going into overtime and people leave, I'd have to say those people are assholes, but they're still entitled to leave.
No, I don't care that the guys.
I don't care that they leave early. I care that they don't show up.
Absolutely.
That's what bothers me.
I'm on that page. And one Panther note, they got to protect Barre. Jesus, Barre got.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. It's enough to make a grown man cry. Here's a mobile in Fort Myers. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
This is John. I'm in Fort Myers, listening on 770 at Beasley Station. I feel your pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling about the two stories. First about the little girl that got shot. And
Pathological liars, the Beatles.
Yeah.
Pathological liars.
The 2 millionth prisoner in jail also. I think they're directly correlated. You know, here's a little kid who's a great example of, he's learned early that, you know, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. So he has no conscience. He hasn't been.
He's learned that the punishment doesn't fit the crime. 6-year-old boy.
Yeah. So he's like, hey, I can get away with it at an early age because if I can get away with it at an older age, I can get away with it now. You know, I don't have any morals. You know, society isn't teaching me anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you were also saying how nonviolent prisoners also, you know, fill the prisons across the country. I always roll back to one of my favorite movies, Escape from New York, where they just make one giant prison. You know, give everybody a place to live, something to eat, and you're on your own. You know, I know the ACLU wouldn't like it, but that's what I believe. You know, make a giant prison for all the violent offenders, put them all there. Then it will free up all the prisons across the country for all the non-violent offenders, and actually show people that yes, the punishment will fit the crime. Just a solution I'd like to see.
Twenty-six after 11 at 560 WQAM. We're only an hour and 24 minutes away from Marlins baseball.
Can't beat that Gator meat.
And now, on the campaign trail with George W. Bush. Today, America's candidate addresses the unionized workers at South Carolina's Turbine Town Factory.
Great to be here in Nevada, South Carolina, Nevada. I want to be your president because I can relate to the ignorant blue-collar worker. Don't say that. The ignorant worker all over the world.
Hey, Bush, what do you know about working?
Never have worked a day in my entire life. Hands smooth, silky, palm olive, you're soaking in it. Let's go to the next question.
Yo, man!
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, you gonna legalize marijuana?
Good question. Important. Substantive. Marijuana legalization? No, absolutely not. Cocaine? Yes. PCP, heroin? Probably. Barbiturates, amphetamines? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Now you?
What are you gonna do for the black man?
Thanks for asking. First thing I'd like to do, see me one up close. Not too close, no touching. Perhaps maybe get a what-what. Can I get a what-what?
All right, George W. Bush, thank you very much. We gotta go.
Can I get a what?
We gotta go.
On the campaign trail with George W. Bush.
It's 11:32 at 560 WQAM. 5670560. If we had a woman today?
No.
How about that? Here's Casadega, New York. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
Don't go off the air, please.
Any minute.
No, don't
Any
do it.
second.
Hey, by the way, I got to tell you something. I found out, when you were there, that one caller that called in about Nick Tahou's,
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I'm interested in that.
Interested in what?
Nick Tahou's, my gosh, they're closing at midnight. They used to be open all night.
So who cares?
I care.
But you
I'm
see,
up in New York here.
I hate to break the news to you, sir, but the majority of our audience, like 99 and 999, 10, they're all here. We're not there.
Well, I'm calling from up here in New York.
Yeah.
It's important.
No, it's not.
It isn't?
No.
Have you ever been there?
Yes.
It's great.
No, it is not great. It's okay.
Well,
okay.
You know, what can you do? They got good hookers over there.
Well, now you're starting to get to more important things.
No, that's true. You know, I mean, that's the only thing. The problem is the hookers come in, they close at midnight. Now, what's going to happen?
Okay, well, listen, I'm glad that there's somebody in the world who cared about that. I feel much better about the caller from Stewart. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Out of town line, 877-785. Let's hear it for Nick Tahou's, okay?
Oh!
Let's just get on a plane and go to Tahoe. That sounds better to me.
Oh!
877-785-6345. See, I was wrong. I was wrong. There is somebody who cares about what time Nick Tahou's is closing. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about double standards. I think what was in the Herald Sunday about these Cuban exiles buying all these condos down in Cuba because they want to do business with Cuba.
Sir, can I tell you one thing I just don't care about? Cuba.
Well, you talked about double standards, right?
Yeah, but I don't care about Cuba.
Can I give you the heads up on something? You talk about the stock market. You know, this is the best economy that we've had in a long time. Greenspan is worried about wage inflation. In the year 2003-4, it's a fact that there's going to be a Hispanic majority in this country.
So in other words,
let me make my point.
Okay.
They're saying that the answer is to get more immigrants. Let more immigration.
Yeah.
So that's going to make our economy even greater.
Immigration rhymes with Haitian. Rhymes with Haitian, sir. Rhymes with Haitian immigration. Are you following me, sir? Rhymes with Haitian immigration. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town line, 877-785-6345. Got 3 anniversary cards, though, on my 21st anniversary in Miami this year. Each year, of course, as the listening audience dies off, you see this law of diminishing return. You know, I feel like Ralph Redneck, only he's in a box, and I think I'll be joining him very soon. Very, very soon. And by the way, Terry Jackson, or whatever your name is, that must be Barry's twin brother that writes at the Herald, the TV column. The reason Channel 4's ratings has gone through the roof, which you've already written about before, but maybe your Alzheimer's have kicked in again, is because of Oprah, as much as I hate to say it. That's why their news ratings are up. Not because Channel 4 News is interesting. Not because anybody wants to see Angela Ray hyperventilating on there going, blah, 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 like that, every time she's talking about some little kid that just got killed. No, it's because of Oprah, that bitch. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hi, Dale.
Yes, sir.
I'm a first-time caller, but I've been listening to you for about 18 years now. But I had to call you because I'm just overwhelmed by the type of calls that you're getting these days. It's pretty amazing.
These days, that's right. Every day it's like this now. Every day.
I don't know what they pay you, but they don't pay you enough.
It's not just a question of how much they pay you. The question is, how do you do a radio show in a town where nobody has anything to say? How do you do it?
It's amazing. As many issues that are worth talking about.
No matter what's going on in the world, what's the big thing on the plate today? Nick Tahoe's restaurant up in Rochester that nobody ever heard of before. That's the big thing on the menu today. They're calling in from out of town. What time does Nick Tahoe's close? Yeah, that's the big issue here today.
Oh, brother. Well, I'm a loyal listener, and I hope you don't go away. But when you're ready to go, I can understand why.
I'm ready to go right now in my pants, I think. Have a great day, pal.
Bye-bye.
I'm ready to go. We had one woman caller here today on Monday morning. No, not one woman in this audience cares enough to get off her goddamn ass right now and tell us what Katie Couric looked like this morning on the Today Show. That tells me all I need to know, okay? They don't know Katie Couric from their elbow, the women in this town. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out-of-town line, and we don't want to talk to anybody from Rochester on the out-of-town line, or Casadegua, or Canandaigua, or Chautauqua. 877-785-6345. By the way, next time that, what's-his-name, Troy Stratford walks in here, remind me to tell him to get out. He's killing me.
To the callers. Oh!
Tonight on VH1 Behind the Music, while MTV is wasting your time with the real world, road rules, and rock and jock football, VH1 remembers the music. Tonight at 8, it's RuPaul Unplugged, followed by Storytellers Presents The Village People. Then it's the Partridge Family Behind the Music and a 2-hour Brady Bunch documentary. That's tonight, right after Hard Rock Live featuring the Captain and Tennille. Only on VH1. Yesterday's crappy music today.
18 till noon at 560. We're only a little over an hour away from Marlin baseball. God, can you feel the excitement? You can smell it. It's building in here. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. We got 16,000 open lines. We had a lady on there, but did she hold on? No, she couldn't hold on long enough. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Neil?
Not much.
I'm a concerned parent as well as a concerned citizen. You always, you hear that thing about that kid that got killed in Michigan, and you think, well, it can't happen in our school, in your son's school. Well, guess what? On Friday, I picked my son up from school, and guess what? I got a letter, and a principal told me that a kid, first grader, bought a knife to school and threatened a student at one of our local schools here in Kendall.
Nice.
Called Oliver Hoover. And you said you sit back and you listen, you think about it, you think, wow, how could it happen, here? And it just amazes me to the fact that it's happening everywhere, not just somewhere else, but it's happening in the schools here in Kendall and in Miami.
Sir, let me say this. If you've been listening to the show this morning, I mean this seriously, I'm not being sarcastic.
Okay.
If you've been listening to the show this morning, that's the answer as to why this goes on and nobody cares. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I follow.
Nobody cares.
Well,
You're dealing with a bunch of morons, low-grade morons.
Yeah, and you wonder why the parents, myself, I check my son's book bag every day when he comes home to school to see what's in it and, what and so forth. And how can they find a knife in a kid's school bag if the parents take a little initiative?
These aren't the kinds of things that the American public cares about. They aren't taking the initiative, and nobody's upset about it.
Well, they need to be, because myself, I take the initiative. I go through my son's stuff, not to just check up on him, just to see, what's going on with him and with the school. And parents got to show a little initiative.
5-6 said something about the Schmitter. The designated Schmitter. 5670560, pound 560. Here we are again. Last call, last chance, last opportunity for all time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this phone physically. I'm going to take this cord. You got that sharp knife, right? You got that Puerto Rican switchblade you stole?
I have a box knife.
Good. And I'm going to slice this baby right off of here. They can take this phone and stick it in somebody's
rectum
in the corporate, okay? For all I care. This is an exercise that this is worse than death by lethal injection. Worse than the goddamn electric chair in Stark on a bad day for old Sparky. That's how good this is. You can get off a goddamn plane from Mozambique. You can get off a goddamn plane from the end of the world, and as soon as that sweltering heat hits you in the puss and you say, oh, my God, you're back in South Florida, you know what you're in for, don't you?
Uh-huh.
This. Here's Davey. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir?
You're one funny character.
Uh-huh.
I actually have something important to say.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Okay, I understand. I'm a little nervous the first time I ever called you.
But nevertheless.
Okay, about 2 months ago on the Learning Channel.
Yes.
Okay, they had a special on what's wrong with America. And it all comes back to what you've been saying before, overpopulation, babies being made like every day. And they did actually, these business people out of Los Angeles actually did a 5-year survey. And so I think it was 70% of the babies being born are related to either drug-addicted or alcohol-addicted parents and families.
All right.
Exactly.
Great.
Now, they have put up money, and there is a solution, a semi-solution to your forced sterilization. Excuse me. The phone number is 188.
Wait a minute. Phone number for what?
What they do is anybody that is addicted to alcohol or drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. You call this number. They will fix you and they will pay you $200. Okay.
They'll pay you $200 to sterilize you?
Yeah, absolutely. And then they will give
buy
you
a lot of Grandma Boone for $200.
Well, you can buy a lot
maybe
of
Boone's
Farm strawberry too for $200.
Uh-huh.
But they'll be fixed and no more babies.
Good.
You understand?
Excellent.
And they'll pay you $200.
Now we're talking. Now it took a long time, but now we're finally getting our thumb on it.
There you go, and something else too.
Right.
But anyways, but they will pay you $200 to get fixed, man or woman, and they will provide you aftercare. They actually, on the Learning Channel,
okay, what's the number?
It's 1-888-30-CRACK. So that'd be 1-888-30-27225.
30-CRACK.
Right. That's.
What if they can't spell crack?
That's why I'm giving you the other numbers.
I know, I got it. Great.
But it's countrywide. These business people in Los Angeles loaded apps. They did a 5-year survey, and they will pay you, man or woman, $200 to get fixed, and they will provide you aftercare. They followed this one girl around, and they showed the aftercare they gave her, and they even got her a job and a place to live.
Great, excellent. That made it worthwhile coming in today.
So that was, I believe I was an intelligent call, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
God bless you, pal.
The only last thing I want to say is that Defo guy, I mean, he's like the biggest whore in the world. I mean, every commercial I hear, like he's talking about his wife in his bedroom. He can't get it up. I mean, what's that all about?
Have a great day. Too much, well, excess consumption of booze will do that to you, you know what I'm saying? Here's a lady in Miami. Can it be?
Hello?
Yes?
Hi, Uncle Neil.
Oh, my God. What's going on here today?
And not only this, I got a new listener for you. But
Yeah.
she's sleeping right now. I don't want to wake her up.
Oh, don't do that. We don't want to wake the audience up.
She just had a little baby last week.
Well, isn't that nice? Is it a crack baby?
Yeah, exactly. Right after that call.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's doing good. I wanted to tell you real quick. Relax, because your blood pressure is higher than mine right now.
No, it's not.
You sound a little stressed. There's a lot of people out there who just don't get a chance to call you.
No, you don't understand. This is, see, that line, that's baloney. This is supposed to be a talk show. This is supposed to be where I come in here and talk, and then people call up and we talk about crap, whatever the hell it is, but they don't call.
You know, I'll tell you about some good crap, or I should say bad crap. The food at Mount Sinai Hospital.
Yeah, it's crap. It's crap.
Oh, my gosh. If that's anything like the food you talk about at Joe Robbie, oh, my Lord.
Yeah, as a matter, I think that they ship it over from outside to Joe Robbie.
You know, we had to sneak pizza in so I could eat something edible. Yeah. It was terrible.
They'll kill you in that place, Mount Sinai. Don't ever go there again.
I really won't.
It's a butcher shop. Okay, thanks, sweetheart.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. See, there you go. There was a woman. Was that hard?
No.
Was that difficult?
No.
No. You just smell it. You can sniff it just evaporating right in front of your puss. And Bluff Lindsay comes in here. Has he got any information about that phone system?
No.
Anything that has to do with his show?
No.
Comes in here with a note. Orlando Alzagari says Thurman Thomas is going to sign with the Dolphins tomorrow. Do I care about that?
No.
Does George care about that?
No.
Should anybody with a brain be thinking about that on the 6th of March?
No.
No. Exactly. 5, yes, Strom Thurman Thomas. Isn't that who he was talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's 182. He's going to be signing with the Dolphins tomorrow. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town, it's 877-785-6345. That's what I need to do. Get out of town. Soon. Greg Reed is a madman, a lunatic, an evil person, the Antichrist. They love me. I hate them. Here's a mobile in Lauderhill. Hello.
Hey, Neil, God, how are you today?
Okay.
That guy who was just calling, he was on crack. Look at all these crack people that are going to come over and go, ooh, I can make $200, buy some crack or heroin. All I have to do is get fixed. Like, they could care about having babies.
But
all
they are.
is
They're having babies every minute. That's the point. That's the whole point of it.
But you know what? If they could afford the sterilization, they should. But now it's a chance to make $200 and get sterilized and smoke more crack.
Excellent, excellent. Let them smoke the crack. Just stop making the babies. Does this guy get it?
No.
You don't get it. That's the point, sir. There it is, right in front of your face. Take a look at it. Have you ever seen anything look like that before?
Uh-huh.
You know what it is?
Uh-huh.
Take a sniff of it, okay?
Uh-huh.
There it is. Take a little taste. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? I was over in Vegas last week.
Yeah.
And I went to one of the buffets, that you had mentioned. There's one of maybe Hank.
Well, what do you mean one of the ones I mentioned? I never talked about any buffets in Vegas.
Oh, maybe it was Hank.
I don't need the buffets. Buffets are for people that have a lot of time to waste standing on line.
Well, I just wanted to check it out, see what he was talking about. But funny thing was, I was standing in line and I ran into that guy, Andy Rothman. And as I reached for some of the
Andy
buffet,
Rothman?
Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
Oh, he's this guy, But anyway, as I reached for the buffet item,
Who is that? Am I supposed to know who that is?
Well, you haven't heard of him?
No.
Oh, well, as I reached for the item, he said to me, hey, be careful, it'll make you Schmidt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
He said it'll make you Schmidt.
Thanks for the good news. Do we know Andy Rothman? Do you have any idea who that is?
Who?
Exactly. 5670560, pound 560. Maybe he works at Nick Tahoe's, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, no, he used to work at Nick Tahoe's, but now that they're closing early, he got canned. That's weird.
Isn't he good friends with David Sugarman?
Yeah, David Sugarman's stepmother and Steve Stone's boyfriend. I think they're connected. I think at the hip. Here's Hollywood. Hello. Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil.
Yes.
I can't understand why the Beasleys don't let you go.
Yeah.
The other 15 stations didn't care.
The other what?
The other 15 stations, they didn't care.
They didn't care what?
I'd say good riddance.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for listening, by the way, to the Neil Rogers Show, okay? The other 15 stations, they didn't care. Does anybody understand what this guy's talking about?
No.
No. The other 15 stations, they didn't care. The other 15 stations that I was on. Is that what he's talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And you know something? And he's followed me from the other 85 stations all the way over here. So like I said, thanks for listening to the Neil Rogers Show on this station and the other 126 stations I was on also, sir. 5670560. See, this is all John Henry's boyfriends calling today. Every time they think they've turned the corner with some other cockamamie proposal, and it keeps changing every 5 minutes like people change their Depends. Oh, yeah, now we got it. Now if we could just get that faggot off the air to stop telling the truth, to stop telling it like it is. No problem, John Henry. You got a lot of money. Just write a check. 7 figures. Any amount with 7 figures, okay, with 7 figures before the decimal point. I'll be gone tomorrow. That's all. And you can have your goddamn stadium. Dave Hyde and Defoe, they'll all suck your ass. No problem. I won't stand in your way. It's a small pittance to pay compared to the $320 million you're trying to suck out of the economy of South Florida and out of somebody who's going to pay taxes somewhere. And I hate to break the news to Dave Hyde, but yes, we already did that before with Wayne Hypinga, which sounded like a great idea, taxing the tourists with that bed tax to build a goddamn Macarena. And then we found out that he wasn't going to be such a nice guy after all. He was going to soak the public an arm and a leg just to get near the place. So, yes, we already did that, Dave Hyde. But, you know, you'd make all the excuses you want for hopping on the bandwagon. Here's a mobile in Deerfield. Hello.
Hello there, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Don't go anywhere, because I drive about 40,000 miles a year, and if you're not on the radio, it'll upset my routine.
Any day now, pal. Very soon.
Listen to you in the morning, otherwise I got to listen to that bitch on the other station.
Any minute.
She's an idiot. Listen, the reason I was calling was, as a hockey fan, you're frustrated, but I've been playing rugby for 14 seasons, and you want to talk about lack of attendance. Nope, shows up to rugby.
Well, why should they?
Well, it has all the excitement of hockey.
But I don't care because nobody here cares about it. Don't you see? Nobody cares about rugby.
Well,
it's not an American sport. It's not a Canadian sport. It's a European thing.
Well, no, we have Canadians on our team. It's the most popular sport around the world. Just not happen.
It's the most popular sport in the world?
Around the world, perhaps second to soccer.
That's interesting. The soccer people tell me they got the most interesting sport, the most popular. And then the auto racing people say, no, they got the most popular. And now you're telling me that rugby is the most popular.
Well, rugby players say that soccer players are girls.
Okay.
Have
a great time with it, sir. Have a wonderful time and hang out of that square ball, whatever the hell you're squeezing. Woo! That's going to be a poll question in a day to come. Which is more interesting, Marlins baseball or rugby? There you go. Nip and tuck. 567. Aren't they on in the morning on the Stupid Talk? Nip and tuck. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. We're less than an hour away from Marlins baseball. You can smell the excitement, baby. Well, Joe Angel just dropped one. What a nice thing that is to do to him. Make him work for an entire year knowing that he's not coming back. Lame duck. As Nixon once said, the only thing worse than lame dick is lame duck. Here's Orlando. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
Do you think in retrospect it was a mistake leaving Clear Channel and WIOD?
I never worked for Clear Channel.
Oh, they bought it after you left.
Right.
But do you think
the answer is very yes, absolutely.
Really?
This company is destroying my career. I'm finished. I'm out of business.
Yeah, I still listen to you all the time from up here on the net, but I could see your show is suffering from their nonsense. They're
suffering
bullcrap.
from being on a make-believe station with a company that doesn't promote. Nobody in their right mind listens to AM radio in the first place. We just keep recycling the same old people till they die off, and the same lifeless sports nerds. I mean, this company, they think that this can go on indefinitely, and they're wrong. They're out of their minds.
You know what I think should happen is a company should come along and put you on FM with Phil Henry.
It's not going to happen, sir. It is not.
But wasn't it going to happen with Cox when they sold the station?
No, it absolutely was not.
You guys were under the impression that it was.
Well, because they lied a lot, just like all the other. I mean, not like these people, but they lied a lot too. WLIOD.
Hey, Nick Dragoni just quit Cox, didn't he?
I have no idea. I don't have any clue.
I know you don't like mentioning the guy with the funny voices, but he's going to be on Real Radio here starting today. So maybe you could syndicate and maybe come on 104.
Have a great day, sir. 3 minutes till noon at 560 WQAM.
The Neil Rogers
Show. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Well, I never thought I'd find the kind of ride that I've been cruising around in today. Now it's a classic set of wheels fixed up the way a brother would like it. Now it's been clean and shining and the trim is gold sanitized under my seat. I got a can of liquid cherry, yo. Aw, baby. Coconut colada, cherry, chariot, baby blue. Aw, baby. Shiny little velvet, little smelly machine. Took the suspension down, so I bounced down the road in a Pin-Daddy superfly. Now if it hard to stop, no big deal. Someday I'll get around to fixing the brakes. A 1979 Bonbon Catalina. She's sure looking fine. Now it's my baby Cadillac. Aw, baby. Coconut colada, cherry, chariot, baby blue. Aw, baby. Shiny little smelly machine. Yo. I got my windows down on a hot summer day, 'cause the AC don't work no way. The sweaty crush fill all seats starts to smell and gets the tussy working overtime. On my backseat you'll find the shiny ground that smell like lilacs. My carpet shiny too, 'cause I've been washing it with Armor All. Oh, baby. Coconut colada, cherry, baby. Oh, baby. Microscopic wheels rolling over speed bumps ain't too smooth. Oh, baby. Brush my law interior, be fancy to me, baby blue. Oh, baby. Hey. Right over Cadillac.
1202 at 560 WQAM. Here's our poll, by the way. First 2 hours, 128 votes already. Our poll today, do you listen to Marlins baseball on WQAM? So far, 103 have said no. What was it? They're a little confused, I guess. 103 have said
no.
There you go. And 25 have said
yes
now. So over 80% of the audience will be tuning out in, of course, that isn't, 50 people, something like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have all these people that'll be tuning in that aren't listening to you.
Oh, that's right. I never thought about that. That's correct. All the sports nudes will be turning in to hear that game at 12:50. So we got the 25 who said yes so far, and then the other 10 of the sports nerds will be turning in to hear John Henry's baseball team play an exhibitionist game. 80% will be saying, bye-bye, see ya, John Henry. In fact, I think come November, if they actually do finagle to get that thing on the ballot, I think it'll be more than 80% who will be saying no to John Henry again. No way. In spite of what Dave Hyde says in his very thinly mashed suck job in the paper yesterday morning. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
I have a question regarding the programming on the station because you're the only one that'll give me a right answer.
Yes?
Okay. Are the Marlins the number one choice on the station?
What do you mean number one choice?
Okay,
what does
because
that mean?
yesterday, the biggest game of the year for the Hurricanes basketball team was on, and they farmed it out to 790.
Yeah, because the Marlins have priority. It's in the contract.
Okay, and that's what I wanted to know.
Yep.
That's real smart.
No, well, there you go. It's Greg Reed again, making that sound.
Yeah.
At least he's consistent.
Okay, I have a John Henry Spy report for you.
Yes, sir.
I was listening to Waffen over the weekend.
You were the one?
Well, probably. And they have a bumper with John Henry saying, this is, 1700, whatever. And then he goes, is there a better sports station in Miami? I don't think so.
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Yeah.
And that's with the guy who's one of your partners in the station.
What do you mean one of my
partners?
Well,
he's got a stake in your station.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that. Here we're paying, now wait a minute, he's got a stake in the station. We're paying him millions. I want the audience to stop and think about this. We're paying this asshole millions of dollars a year that's crippling this radio station for the rights to this garbage that's coming up in 45 minutes, and he's on the other place promoting them?
Yeah, he was. And on a bumper. In between the, you know what a bumper is.
I know what a bumper is, all right. Have a great day, Pat.
See you later.
Thanks for the bad news. How do you like that? John Henry sucking anywhere he can because he knows he's wasting his time sucking air. He's already got Beefo. That took about $1.50, I think, is all that took. Maybe a little trade out. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. 877-785-6345. See, if I'm one of the people here on the inside, if I had a brain, which...
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
They don't. I'd be psychotic hearing that. That a guy that's basically holding this place up, almost with a gun to their head, and he's down there on the other goddamn end sucking their ass. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, you gotta stay, man. There's still people who love you here. I've been listening to you since I was about 15 years old.
I can feel it. The warmth is overwhelming.
Hey, don't lose hope. And hey, I didn't even know we had Marlins baseball. There is baseball here in Miami?
We got it today, baby, whether you want it or not.
Man. You know what? Instead of
44 minutes away.
all these taxes for stadiums, why don't we keep them and build you a radio station where you can stick around?
Oh! Now you're talking.
Huh?
I bet you we could get a real phone system in there too.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe get you a phone system, a nice brand new stadium. We'll call it the Neil Rogers tax. That's all you need, buddy.
Okay, we got it.
That's it, man. I just wanted to say hello and don't lose hope, Neil.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
It's already gone. Hope is gone. Is Hope gone?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's gone. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T line. Oh, we can take our time this hour too. I don't want to say somebody downstairs made a mistake. She don't make mistakes. I don't want to say she screwed up on this log, but hey, listen, easy come, easy go. And let me mention again, if you missed the show earlier, tomorrow is March 7th, and you wonder, well, what does that mean? Why is that a significant date? It's a significant date because tomorrow, the quiet period is over, which means I'll be able to talk about that thing that with the Beasley that we haven't been able to talk about. And am I going to talk about it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in fact, even as depressing as today is, I'm looking forward to coming in tomorrow so I can talk about that. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
I hear Elion's throwing out the first pitch today.
Yes, he is.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that.
Okay, you're welcome. 5670560 pound 5. He's also batting cleanup for the Marlins, right? Because he works cheap. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T line. And by the way, you'll be very pleased to know that Eric, up on our website, really gets down to it. He says, since so many people's lives seem to hinge on when Nick Tahoe closes, he did some investigating. As of March 15, the 320 Main Street West location began closing at 8 p.m. because of excessive violence.
Boy!
The Lyle Avenue location, 2260 Lyle Avenue, is still open 24 hours a day. So breathe easy, okay? That guy up there in Canandaigua and Canandaigua and Geneva and Penn Yan and Leroy and wherever else I left out. Just breathe easy. The one on Lyle Avenue is still open 24 hours a day, and the other one you don't want to go there at night, I guess is what it boils down to. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, sir?
How you doing? This is Malik over at UR Powder Coating. Long-time listener. Hello?
I'm here. I'm listening, sir.
If you ever need anything powder coated, just let us know.
Anything what?
Powder coated.
Powder coated?
Yeah.
What is that?
Powder coating, we powder coat rims, valve covers, intakes.
Like a donut?
frames.
How about a donut?
For you, yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Neil.
Thanks. Do you have any idea what he said?
No.
No. I think he had something in his mouth, maybe some powder. How about some powder? 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. 877-785-6345. See, I think based on what you were telling me about here, now what time of the day was that? Was that like live that you were hearing that show?
Yes. Are you sure?
See, because George was telling me he was here in Phil Friday night, I guess, for an hour, and he was doing his usual stick and couldn't buy a single call. Not one.
No takers.
No takers. And he's on like 50 stations. So I'm sitting here getting all bent out of shape. Maybe what we're all doing, because you look at their numbers, I mean, we had a bad book, but it's still better than all of their day parts put together. But we're done. This was fun for a long time, but you have to know when it's done. And, of course, I'm not going to throw in the towel because I don't have enough money to retire yet. If I had enough money to retire, I'd say goodbye tomorrow. I'm being honest with you. That's the way I feel about it. When I have enough to retire, I'm going to say, see you, Greg. That's all. I've already determined how much that is. So if I come in and play music, if I play Hungarian Rhapsody, if I sit here and go blah, 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 like that, it doesn't make any difference because that's the Neil Rogers Show. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't stick your nose in its rectum too long. Isn't that the way the old saying goes? Something like that, right? So, I mean, I'm not going to force feed it. If we're all done, it's time to get the message. If all of this stuff, Rick and Suds, they got a point. What's the point too? All of this stuff is all over with now. Everything runs its course. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
I wanted to try to clarify something. That proposed tax is a vote in Miami, and it was like $4 a day for every person that travels on a cruise ship.
Right.
Now, is that just going to be for 1 year?
No. What do you mean just for 1 year?
Well, I thought that they needed coming up with $320 million, and the Marlins were going to come up the rest. How much? When they propose a tax, it's just forever.
Have you ever seen a tax that was that disappeared?
Well, no, but when they specify, like on cruise passengers, it seems like they should be able to raise that money pretty quick.
$320 million?
Well, I don't know. I would divide that $4 a day. It's like $12.
That's $80 million. Or divided by 12 now. Okay, 12 into what? 12 into 320? Say 360 because that's $30 million.
Okay.
30 million passengers. It's going to take a few days.
Yeah, that's
It's going to take a week or two.
So why wouldn't, like, you know, I'm a Marlins fan, but I won't go down to Miami. Why would, like, if I lived in Dade County, give a crap what happens on a tax proposed on cruise ships? Does it get me a free stadium? Why not go for it if it doesn't involve me?
Because if you have any brains and you live in Dade County, you realize that there are a lot of other things going on that are more important, that we shouldn't be building any more stadiums for billionaires or millionaires or any more empty buildings. That's probably why.
I agree with you there, but you'll be surprised. I don't know. I guess a lot of people, yeah, if you look at it that way, I didn't look at it that way. I just figured free stadium. All right, I'll vote for it.
Well, what do you mean? What does that mean? Free stadium?
Well,
nothing is for free. Who's going to maintain the stadium? Just like the Mickey Arena, the mayor gave the same lie to the public then. Oh, he's putting up the money to build a building. It's going to be free. And now the taxpayers of Dade County, for the rest of the time, are going to be saddled with maintaining that building. Just like they're saddled with the $40 million they lost on the old Miami Arena that's sitting there now. How many white elephants do we need, you know?
You're 100% correct. I'm glad I don't live in Dade County.
God bless us.
God bless you.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to live there for a couple of days so I could vote 50,000 times. Yeah. All of us who are against the goddamn stadium, we're all moving to Dade County between now and November. How do you like that, John Henry?
Oh!
You little weasel, you little putz, you asshole, you.
Oh!
We're all moving here because we can't stand you. We can't stand greedy billionaires who keep trying to connive and chisel the public and come up with ways to use somebody's money, some public tax money, no matter whose money it is. It's a pile of crap. I'll tell you one thing. I want to build a restaurant. And I guarantee it'll be better than Nick Tahoe's. It'll have the best goddamn food, expensive food, cheap food. I want to build Neil's Restaurant. There used to be a restaurant on Alton Road when I first came here called Neil's. Been gone a long time. It was a great place. Long gone. Like all the other good stuff. Gone. It's going to be sensational. And what I want to do is have a tax on something. Something that you people won't have to pay. Somebody else can have a tax and build me my restaurant. Anybody going for that?
No.
No. That's what it's all about. Somebody build me a stadium. And the answer is no. We don't care how creative it is. We don't care how much we dislike Mickey Arison. We don't care how much of a schmuck Dave Hyde is. We don't care about these things. The answer is still no. Especially in a county where the biggest city is on the verge of bankruptcy, where the kids don't have school books, a lot of them, to take home to do their homework at night, where kids can't get fed a decent lunch in the daytime and have to take their lives in their hands and get in the car and maybe get killed at lunchtime. All of these things. Not to mention the goddamn roads that we don't have that are just overclogged to the point where people are want to blow their brains out or each other's. All the pressing things that are needed. The kind of sensible things that should be done with tax money of any kind. Those all come first. John Henry, you're way, way down the list. You're down on the pecking order, okay? So if you think that because you got one schmuck there in the newspaper suckered in...
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Amen. You're right. And you know what? Nuts rhymes with putz. If you look in the mirror, John, that's exactly what you are. I don't care if you got $50 billion, $100 billion. Look in the mirror, you're still a putz. Is he a putz?
Uh-huh.
Here's a mobile in Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy? Calling you from Miami Beach. Hey, long-time listener, and this is Big Neil. Oh, you know what, buddy? You're a great guy. You're not going anywhere. Without you, Miami doesn't survive. Big Neil.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, man, one of your people, George. One of yours. Hey, listen, don't wear all that jewelry in public, man. It's dangerous. 56705, not to mention heavy. 5670560, pound 560. We didn't have that one lady. Got any more ladies? Oh, we got a lady in Kendall. Better grab her while it's still warm. Hello.
Hello, Neil. How
Yes,
are you
ma'am.
today?
Okay.
I want to
Very depressed, very psychotic about coming back here and putting up with this crap.
Let me tell you, I live down there in Norandra, in that piece of crap, by Homestead.
Boy!
That
Wow.
piece of crap. I'm the one that called you until I'm Jewish, married to that Mexican guy.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it is unbelievable.
We're all done, sweetheart. We're all done.
The traffic is incredible.
This show is done. The traffic is done. John Henry is done. The White Hots are done. And Nick Tahoe's
I drive from home.
done. DUNN.
I drive from Norandra.
Hello, Dr. Dunn. I have blue lips, Dr. Dunn. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm rambling.
No problem.
I'm incoherent.
I drive from Norandra to Dayland every day. And
Yeah.
you'd be surprised the yentas that I see, the crazy people that I see. It is incredible.
Yeah.
And these people actually have licenses. I can't believe
You know, I drove home from the airport last night. My flight came in at 10:30.
Mhm.
I'm on the road at 10:40 last night, and I'm thinking to myself, what kind of crazy people am I out here on the... I mean, you'd think on a Sunday night at nearly 11 o'clock, you'd think it would be clear sailing, right? Wrong. Crazy people all over the road.
I know, and you know, these people come from foreign countries and they think because they just come here, they can get a license.
Driving like they're all on acid. I have never seen it. You know, I'm not here for 20 minutes. You know, I'm in the car, I'm on the road, and I'm swearing and carrying on again.
I know it's
Thank God I came in here this morning to put me in a better mood on this show.
I'm telling you, just like the guy says, the Banana Republic, baby, and
You
it's
got
yours. And let me tell you, I listen to your show every day, and I am a woman, and I do listen every day.
Well, you're the one. Thank God. Thank God for you, sweetheart.
And just so you know, I mean, I do. I don't care what anyone thinks.
That's
at
what
work.
Nick says. I do. 98 degrees. I do.
Take care now.
Hang
Love
in
you.
there. Okay.
Bye.
You know what he said? Yeah, let's play 98 degrees. That's what I'm going to do every day. How's Nick? Oh, they were playing a Nick and Jessica song up there. Walking on Young Street, they're playing either the Backstreet Boys or Nick and Jessica. Over and over and over again. Even though George hates that song like poison, and I would agree with you. Hey, for once we do agree. That song sucks. And he said Jessica sucks too, is what he says, but I think that's wishful thinking on his part. Not my part. You know what I'm saying? Do you? You can suck and still be a virgin. That's what Nick said. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to talk about him. He just gets me very, very agitated. 12:18 at 560 WQAM. Here comes the greatest fax in the history of faxes. So important and so significant and so scathing that I even didn't play the bit I was going to play right there, which is pretty good, by the way. From Carolina Mountain Water in Riviera Beach, Neil. This is from Danny D. Do we know Danny D?
No.
No. Neil, I'm hearing your despair over the quality of the callers. Don't you know full well that you are to blame for the current state of your show? Let me explain. Since your return to the airwaves from the Buddy Butt extravaganza, you have had zero interest in discussing anything of real importance. Don't get me wrong, I still check in, usually on a daily basis. But you just don't entertain me the way you used to back in the old days. People have tried over the years to get you to discuss topics, and you always said no. But what you seemed to miss was that nobody wanted you to talk about daily contrived topics. What we wanted was for you to use your brilliant mind to address topics that were important to the South Florida community, the election of a neo-Nazi governor, or the witch hunt impeachment, for instance. Your first year back, you talked almost entirely about 1, Whammy, a show that no one in Palm Beach County could see, 2, George's Rays, 3, ice cream, oh, and hockey. Meanwhile, important news, both local and national, was occurring. With little or no interest in what's going on around you, since we all know you're gone as soon as your 5-year contract is up, listeners and callers such as myself found someone or something else to listen to. Almost everyone with brains, and that might have had something interesting to say, took your lead and left the building. Still love you, but what happened? Danny D. Isn't that interesting? I'm the one who doesn't talk about anything important, like the editorial that I read out of the newspaper from St. Catharines about America's obsession with guns, like the goddamn tax that we helped defeat on transportation back in July, that I talked about till I was blue in the face, and the overwhelming majority of the public came out and voted against Mayor Pinga Pequena, and like the 6-year-old kid that shot the other kid, and things that I talk about every single goddamn day on this radio show, and you know it as well as I do. So basically what Danny D is saying is that all the stuff I did for years, whether it was, so if it wasn't talking about ice cream, it was Boca Burgers. And it was the little pizzas, what are they called? The little,
bagel bites?
Bagel bites, yeah. But see, if I do that, if we are 100%, see, I'm not going back to talking topics, what you pick and choose, Danny D. In addition to which, we don't, this radio program isn't primarily for the people in Palm Beach County. So whether the people up there could see Whammy or not, that's not relevant to anything. To anything. So here's a guy that calls in, gives me a lecture on a fax, who still, what does it say at the end? Still love you, but what happened? So he's found something else to do, but he still takes the time out of his busy day to fax me a lecture on a fax. Danny D. from Carolina Mountain Water in Riviera Beach. Which, by the way, if Sal Falcone is listening, we sure could use some goddamn water, Sal. The tap is dry here. How do you like that? I just don't entertain him the way I used to back in the good old days. Did we do topical talk on IOD?
No.
No. We had better callers than IOD, but did the things I talk about, were they any different than they are now? No, it was always the same balance between some serious stuff, some yucking it up, whatever the hell it is. That's the show, Danny D, and you know that. But that's for you, sweetheart. Yeah, all I talked about was the Whammy TV show, George's Raisin Ice Cream. How do you like that?
Yeah, and
the little kid that got shot, and the tax, and John Henry, and a partridge in a pear tree. Oh, and hockey, that's right, I forgot. We talked about hockey, too. Sorry, Danny D. Neil is the one that made it. And you know something, Danny D? It's always been like this. It's just a matter of degrees. Whether it was serious topics back on W Snooze, whether it was WINZ, where I remember one night tearing up the newspaper on the air because they wouldn't talk about the goddamn riots that we were having in the city of Miami. No, it's Neil that doesn't care about the important things. The audience, the intelligent people, they care. I mean, if you expect me to believe that, man, you must think I'm dumber than sawdust. I got 24 years of very good memory of knowing that they don't care. Take a look at the ratings on television. Take a look at the crap that they do watch. Are the news shows number one? No. Who wants to be a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire? And here's what all this money looks like. Here you go. Show me the money. Here it is. We're showing it to you. Neil made them that way. Remember that T-shirt we had? It's Neil's fault that. So here, add some more stuff on there too. Danny D is right. It's my fault. We chased all the thinking people away. All we have left are a bunch of mouth breathers. That's all we got. Thanks for the advice, Danny D. And by the way,
loan me $50.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Hialeah. Hello.
Good afternoon, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil, this makes the second big game in a row that Robert Svela gagars in the dying seconds.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
what more does it take to involve him, Niedermeyer, and Oleg Kavasha in some kind of trade before the deadline?
Why don't you ask the spokesman? I can't tell you. He was on there on Friday with the worst team. They didn't ask him.
I mean, this is getting desperate. I mean, Niedermeyer keeps losing face-off after face-off.
Yeah, well, guess what, pal? He ain't going to go anywhere because nobody wants him. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Out-of-town line, 877-785-6345. See, after I read that fax from Danny D, you would have thought that these lines would have exploded. Wouldn't you have thought that?
No.
Huh? Come on, I would have.
No.
Wouldn't I?
No.
With some response. Saying, how dare Danny D write crap like that? Danny D, whoever that be. And look at this. I'm looking at it.
Some old bag called up agreeing with it.
Yeah, that was probably Sheila B. You know Sheila? Be an asshole? Here's a mobile in Homestead. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, don't let that guy bother you too much.
Bother me?
Well, he's probably a Diaz. Danny Diaz. He's probably an Oye, so they got to blame somebody other but themselves. You know what I mean? Hey, what do you think about that airport down in Homestead?
Here's a lady mobile in Miami. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil. I think I can help you understand why there's some schools out there that don't have enough books for their students. I went to a public school in Miami, and because they feared what the kids were bringing in their book bags, they gave us one set for school and one set for home. So that leaves a lot of kids out there with a lot of less books.
Well, isn't that great?
Yeah, that was wonderful. They don't do their homework, don't use their books, and there's kids out there who actually want to learn and they don't get any.
Mm-hmm. And this guy thinks we're going to build him a stadium?
Well, if that's what people get conned into, they don't want to think for themselves, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Thank you, Ann.
And have a great day. Look at the explosion on this phone since I read that scathing, that penetrating facts from Danny D. in Riviera Beach at Carolina, whatever the hell it is. What is it, Carolina Mountain Water? Oh, I've heard about that stuff, by the way. Have you heard? Let me tell you off the air. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. This place is legally dead. You can smell it. Oh, God. Finished. Finito. And I'm going to say it again. You ought to kiss the ground for all those crazy old Cubans and for Alien and all that crap, because if we wouldn't have had 2 or 3 months of that stuff, what else would we be doing here? Oh, man. Thanks to all you crazy old Cubans, okay? You may be irritating most of the time, but at least you keep it exciting. At least you get everybody whipped up to a frenzy. Get them out of their coma. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
Listen, I just got something that I wanted to make a comment about John Henry.
Yeah.
First of all, in my opinion, I just think his judgment stinks. He keeps cutting back the payroll every year.
Yeah.
How do you expect for him to draw, the team to draw fans? And I don't know. I just don't think I think his judgment stinks. I think his brain cells are being destroyed.
And he's a liar. He's a liar. He said that if the public wouldn't build him a stadium, that he would do it himself. And then he's changed that story 20 different times. And now, when they ask him about it, it's like his hearing aid has fallen out. He can't answer the question.
Well, like I said, his judgment stinks.
Yeah.
And his
he made a bad business deal, and now he would like the public to bail him out of it.
And
567-0560 is so obvious. So obvious. What did I tell you about the John Henry people? Like, I'm going to put that on the air. Is that going on the air?
No.
No. Here's a mobile in Miramar. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Went to my first Panthers game. I'm from Michigan, big Red Wings fan.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know if I believed you about Peter Worrell, but he's got to be the laziest skater I've ever seen, and not really a great skater at that either. And I guess I agree with you.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. He agreed with me, by the way, George. He's a lazy skater. Well, you know those guys. They're lazy and shiftless and wear big shoes. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Going once. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami. Miami on 8. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody loves you. We've been listening to you for years.
Uh-huh.
And we love to hear from you. And for Danny,
Do you love to hear from me? What does that mean?
Well, we listen to you every day.
Uh-huh. Why?
Because you're entertaining. You make us laugh.
Uh-huh.
And for Danny D, Carolina Mountain Water,
yeah,
it's the worst water on the market. It's
Uh-huh.
not even sold in Publix and Winn-Dixie.
I hear it tastes like Schmidt.
It's got tree bark in it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's what my dog was barking at it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. What are you sneezing about in there? Man, this guy's got an allergy. I think it's allergy to the show today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think it's dust. Well, whoever was in here
Might.
over the weekend was using the tissues and just left them on the counter,
Yeah.
along with the open salt packages on the board and whatever mug. Was
Whoever was in here on a weekend making a mess out of this place again?
Josh Friedman was in here, apparently, sitting in my chair.
Josh Friedman was in here, and you wonder why you're sneezing and your allergies are acting up. Get the Lysol. Uh-oh. Squirt. God, now he tells us. Now Tommy sticks his head in the door, and you notice how fast he pulled his head out of here, too? Man, Josh Friedman was in here, huh? And I'm going to tell you, you were right. I was wrong. He is an unbelievable, miserable asshole, Josh Friedman. He is a tub of crap. Every ounce, if he weighs 5'10", which I think he might be back up to this on this date, if he weighs 580 pounds, he weighs 580 pounds full of Schmidt. What a piece of turd. And why is he still here? He must be another one with naked pictures.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, Bluff Lindsay tells me that Orlando Alzagari says that the Dolphins are signing Thurman Thomas tomorrow. Woo! Heavy duty. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. I saw Ben and Jerry last week in a live performance. They were giving a speech at the Fort Lauderdale Library. And,
A live performance?
A live performance, live and in person.
They're giving a speech at the Fort Lauderdale Library?
Well, in Fort Nova College.
Yeah.
They have, and I think there may be some hope. They gave me a glimmer of hope for the rest of the world because there are two people that seem to have their Schmidt together.
Yeah.
And I was encouraged by that, and I wanted to, just give you a voice of encouragement.
Well, thank God for Ben and Jerry. I love Ben and Jerry.
And they gave out ice cream at the end, so
Like
everybody
I said,
was.
What's not to like?
We were all happy.
God bless him.
I would like to give a shout to my friend Evan Brown, who's a marriage-hungry pig and listens to you every day. Evan,
Okay.
wise up.
Okay.
Thank you.
See ya. See, now we're starting to get a little bit of support. This is like the goddamn election tomorrow. This is Stupid Monday. Tomorrow's Stupid Tuesday. This is Stupid Monday. As we continue lobbying for a little bit of support, are we going to get it out there from the people in Radio Land that Danny D says they're all gone because the intelligent people like him have found something else to do? Even though he's got time to fax me a whole goddamn letter, a song and a dance on his letterhead with a lecture about the goddamn broadcasting business in his show?
No.
How much you pulling down, Danny D? Huh? Danny D?
It's only $50.
How much you putting in the bank every 2 weeks? You little pudwhacker. Danny D. I wonder what the D stands for. Can it stand for dumb? That could be it. Dumb. Yeah, if you would talk about the important things like what? What do you got, Danny D? When they shot all the kids in Colorado, did we get any response on that?
No.
Does anybody give a crap about the important things that are going on?
No.
They don't care about important things or what you think are important things, Mr. Hotshot. So you can sit around with all your pseudo-intellectuals drinking that crap water of yours up there in Palm Beach, which I hear a lot of interesting stuff. In fact, you know something? Since tomorrow is the last day of the quiet period, it might also be the last day of the quiet period about that, too. Unless they want to send us some free water. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
I agree with you. John Henry is full of Schmidt.
Yeah.
However, I would like to say something, Neil.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm pulling down $925,000 this year, bro. So this isn't some Yahoo calling here.
How do you like that, Danny D? Here's a guy that's making a few bucks.
I like showing you need to get off the rag, buddy. There are other cities in the country with bad government, bad roads,
Yeah.
and all sorts of bad stuff. But
Yeah.
believe me, there's a lot worse places to live than here. And going on about it all the time is boring.
Then why you're still listening? Click. There's a guy. What do you say? He's making $9,000 a year, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Going on about it, and I ask him a very simple, civilized question, and he hangs up the phone. He hangs up the phone. See, if I don't like a show, I tune it out. I don't send a guy a fax. I don't call up and give him a lecture about how boring it is and about how wonderful it is this place compared to every place else. I find something else to do. See, these people don't want to discuss. They want to give me a lecture. Which, hey, price is right. It's your dime, pal. Marlin baseball in 17 minutes. You can smell it. Here's a lady mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How are you?
Great.
That Danny D, is it stand for Danny Dog Crap?
Danny Dog Turd. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You turd.
If he's got that much time, I mean, God, obviously this guy's got a problem. And, you know, just tune out all these people that are calling.
Like this last guy who wants to impress me with all the big bucks that he's making, and the yada yada yada, and how I should kiss my count my blessings, I guess.
Nobody gives a crap about him or anybody else. Not Danny D. Danny, get a life, Danny. Danny, you're going through life with Danny. With Danny, get a life.
Exactly. Well
no,
said.
You're Daniel or something. You're a man. You know, give us a effing break with Danny. I hate the men with Danny.
Right.
Oh, enough already with that.
And don't forget about Jimmy, too.
And Jimmy, and enough of all that crowd. I'm sick of it, Neil. I'm sick of it.
I've had it.
That's it.
Okay.
Bye.
Feel better?
Yeah, I feel good. And you know what? You're just fine. Don't you change a goddamn thing.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, God damn it.
Jimmy and Danny, Jimmy and Danny.
Yeah, exactly. Just like she said, God damn it. Yeah. Everybody's an expert out there. Everybody's a program director, and you're bad, Neil. You suck. You were good 5 minutes ago, but now you suck, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I do suck, okay? Send pictures. And I take it back. Don't even waste your time. 21 before 1 at 560 WQAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Well, which of the 10 contestants will hit the air? Sitting directly across from Regis's chair. I suppose no one knows how it goes, so you're directly in the throes. Then if you miss, everybody says he blows. Get the fastest finger and you're on your way. It must feel great to make ABC pay. Just think of the cash. What a stash. Imagine a big old bash. If you pick to play and you go all the way. Use the lifeline for a friend or ask the audience. Use your 50-50 if, my friend, you're out of sense. 30 million people sitting watching you. What to do? I would just cry boo-hoo. Now, here's a tip in case you win on what to wear. Be looking fly, wear a tie, bring extra underwear. Now keep your thinking straight and clear. Remember, there's nothing to fear. You could be a brand new millionaire.
16 till 1 at 560. We're only 6 minutes away from Marlin baseball. Oh, my God, the pressure is building. You can see it, you can smell it, you can feel it. My favorite, I even pieced this thing back together again, this Danny D. fax that I tore up. Because my favorite line about, with little or no interest on what's going on around you, because we all know you'll be gone as soon as your 5-year contract is up. Are you following this? This is what makes me bad. 2.5 years left. 2.5 years left. But because I'm going to be leaving at the end of another 2.5 years, that makes me now totally disinterested in anything that's going on, just like about John Henry trying to suck money out of the taxpayers here. Some taxpayers, wherever it's going to come from. Because I'm going to be leaving only in this town. In spite of what that guy said a couple of calls back with his lecture, the pseudo-intellectual that's making $9 a year. In spite of what he had to say, the fact is, only in this town could somebody come up with something that convoluted. I'm the bad guy. Don't you understand that? I'm evil. I'm the Antichrist. We all know that. And I don't give a crap on what's going on because I'm going to be leaving in 2.5 years. So why the hell should I care? And why should anybody listen to a show when they know you're not going to stay here forever? How about if I said I was going to stay until I died on the air? Would that solve it, sir?
No.
Danny, you idiot?
No.
No. And by the way, about that water. Oh, man. We just had a call off the air. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
How about sending us some free water, Danny? Yes, sir.
I just had an idea. I don't know if logic works for Mr. Henry, but I have had baseball tickets for 5 years. I will not have them this year.
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Yeah.
And I live in the city of Miami. I don't think that we should have to give up our last piece of waterfront property to an overcrowded area that, you can't park at anyway.
I mean, they're already bellyaching about they can't park at the Mickey Arena down there for the basketball games.
Well,
how are they going to park for baseball?
You can't even go to Bayside now on a day where the American Airlines is being utilized because it's $15 now just to go to Bayside. So all those little watch kiosks and incense kiosks and all that, they're going to go out of business. I don't know what's going on down there, but I have a logic thing.
Yeah.
FIU is getting
What is it? Okay, he's gone. He just, his phone crapped out. You can hear it. Here's Hollywood Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
God damn it, settle down, man. What the hell's going on? I mean, you know that there's everybody in the whole.
What are you so flustered about?
I don't know. I'm sorry, but I just heard you and everybody in the whole city. I mean, the whole South Florida area, is gaga over you. They know what you do. They know what you.
Gaga over me?
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, yeah. Because people,
yeah.
I don't even know. I hear talking about you in conversations.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, screw your station, screw your people.
Sir, you just hit the jackpot. Screw this station. You said it.
And
you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to do that.
What?
Tomorrow I'm going to do just that tomorrow. 4 hours on the air.
Yeah, but 4 hours on a year. I mean, I'll tell you
tomorrow,
what, Joe.
No, sir. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Is it amazing?
Yes.
It's just shocking. Even Joe Costello just stuck his head into it, shaking his head.
And he never saw Larry Bessler.
Oh, believe me, the answer would be
no.
Not a bad guy, but no, Larry, I don't think so. 179 votes. Don't forget to go to neilrogers.com, our website, our daily poll. You listen to Marlins baseball on WQAM. That's our poll question today.
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
179 votes as of just moments ago. Eric just faxed me the latest total. 146 say
no.
They don't listen to Marlins baseball. How do you like
no.
that? And only 33 say yes. 81.5% say
no.
And only less than 18.5% yes. That means that any second now, people are going to be reaching for the dial. They're going to be twisting it and yanking it and turning it. Are you going to be turning it? Hello? North Miami Beach.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's an honor to talk to you.
Are you going to be listening to the Marlin game?
Well, I'll tell you what. I lived here for 20 years and moved to Scottsdale, Arizona 6 months ago. I'm back for one day to say hello to Mommy and Daddy. I'm flying to Rome tonight on Alitalia.
Great. Excellent.
And I want a restaurant reservation, sir. A recommendation.
A restaurant recommendation?
Yes.
What does that mean? In Rome?
In Rome, yes.
Just any trattoria. They're all great.
Any trattoria?
All the trattorias. Each one is better than the next.
Any particular location or just go anywhere?
Anywhere you want. Just stay away from the Vatican. They'll kill you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Neil.
Okay. Have a great time.
Bye-bye.
Manja. So anyway, look at that. That's you're just about out of time here today. Because we got a Marlin game. And you know something? It's just as well. Don't you think it's just as well?
Oh, yeah. Today?
Today. Based on this. Even though it's my fault, I want to come clean right now. I'm bad. The show sucks. I'm bad. I'm a moron. I was Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Okay, so they're not open Good Friday. Ash Wednesday. Sukkot, whatever. But today, all I can say is...
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Now, that would be bad if we played that right up to Marlins baseball. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, that would be really bad if we played that going into a goddamn Marlin game, because then he might get all upset with us, that whatever the hell his name is.
This is 5 a.m. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.